Puff, puff, pass. True crime, ChatRats. All across the world, we coming through like that. Taking all the facts, put them in a trap, cause we coming through like that. Puff, puff, pass. True crime, ChatRats. All across the world, we coming through like that. Taking all the facts, put them in a trap, cause we coming through like that. When you see the scene, I'm a rat in the pack. Rolling with the squad, got the truth in the sack. With the teams, with the schemes, broken dreams in the crack. History's a puzzle and we bringing it back. Taking all the facts, hand deliver to the chat. Whiskers twitching, we be sniffing where the story at. Puff, puff, pass. True crime, ChatRats. All across the world, we coming through like that. Taking all the facts, put them in the trap. We coming through like that. True crime, where we be every night. Clues on the table, got the case in our sight. Doing what we do, every wrong, make it right. From the shadows we ignite, bring the dark to the light. Crime scene, blueprints, mind sharper than a knife. Rats in the basement, but we running the heights. From the alleys to the penthouse, stories collide. Truth in the whiskers, we ain't letting it slide. Got a map to the madness, every clue's a guide. We the ChatRats, and we bona fide. Puff, puff, pass. True crime, ChatRats. All across the world, we coming through like that. Taking all the facts, put them in the trap, cause we coming through like that.
What up, people? Sorry, we're trying to get in on this verdict watch.
As to the jury's verdict, with the jury having found the defendant guilty of the 3 charges of the indictment, is the defense asking for a pre-sentence report on counts 2 and 3. As to count 1, the penalty is statutory, and essentially there is no modification for it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, pre-sentence investigation report is ordered by the court as to counts 2 and 3. As to count 1, is there any reason why we cannot proceed to sentencing on this matter?
Your Honor, we would request an opportunity to ensure that our client is okay before we proceed to sentencing. It's my understanding that Charlie Adelson wasn't sentenced right away. We're asking for the same courtesy.
Very well. The court then will set a separate sentencing date.
May I inquire whether the family members that are present would like to give victim impact now or at the future date?
Go ahead.
I want to go back just a little bit, see if we can catch it live.
As best you can. You are in control.
Not live, but see if we can watch it. They need some microphones up in these places, man. Can't hear anything.
Please bring in the jurors. Please remain seated when the jurors
Try
come
that.
at this particular time.
Is that better?
jury foreperson could please rise. Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict? If you please can hand the verdict form to the bailiff. Having reviewed the verdict form, it is in its proper order. At this time, I will publish the verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1 of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson, control yourself.
Or what? You know, put me in jail for
Count 2. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 2 of the indictment. Conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Count 3. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 3 of the indictment. Solicitation to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. And it is signed and dated by the foreperson. One moment. Members of the jury, the bailiff will escort you to the jury room. Mrs. Adelson, while this was not the outcome I'm sure that you desired, there will not be any further outbursts in front of the jury. If you cannot control yourself, I am going to have to determine if you will be removed from the remainder of this process. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Do you need a moment to collect yourself? Before the jurors are brought back in, we will take a brief 2-minute break. Please give her tissues if she needs them.
No, Cherry.
When the jurors are brought back into the room, does the defense wish to have the jurors polled before they are discharged?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well.
Ooh, that's cold. Guilty. Guilty, guilty.
Please bring back in the jurors so we can conclude with their portion of the trial.
What shorts, Prince Lover? Your shorts are on. Oh, the actual shorts. They need to get us some better production in these courthouses so we can hear what people are saying. This is ridiculous.
Members of the jury, before I discharge you for this evening, I am briefly going to poll you concerning whether your verdict is unanimous at the request of one of the parties. When you hear your last name, please appropriately respond.
All right, while they poll the jury, I think we can go ahead and just watch closing arguments. What do you think? Then we'll watch this again later. Let's go to the prosecution because this stuff is lengthy. Thankfully, trial channel got it edited quickly. So here we go.
This is Dan Markell. He's the victim in this case. A son, a brother.
Oh my God. Let's see what happens.
Children's well-being first. He regularly attended the boys' daycares, reading with them. His office was filled with their drawings, and his home, his living room, filled with their toys. Dan was the boys' hero, and they have been forced to grow up without a father. Dan's murder has shattered our family and caused deep permanent pain. This was a particularly senseless crime, and the murder was particularly insensible. It was not revenge. Dan was a law-abiding and respectful citizen, an active father, and a living son. His life was devoted to teaching and helping others. The pain and suffering of Dan's murder goes well beyond other families too. That is why I wrote the book, A Mother's The Unveiling, A Mother's Reflection on Murder, Grief, and Trial Life. In my unrelenting grief, I turned to advocacy, to feel purpose, and to help others with these tragic losses. I have found meaning and comfort to connect with others who
What's
want
up, Pat
to
Sanford?
serve justice. To all
Steve, you definitely getting a rap.
journalists, TV programs, podcasters, Tallahassee communities, and the allies who have put their hearts in keeping Danny's story alive, we are full of thanks. To law enforcement and prosecutors, our gratitude is beyond for their dedicated, careful perseverance in seeking justice for Danny and our family. If Tallahassee is known for football, Tallahassee should be known for the prosecution and for law enforcement. They have done an outstanding job. These extraordinary efforts underscore the brutal truth of our family's story. Danny's murder was orchestrated by his former mother-in-law, Donna Adelson, and other co-conspirators, and is a crime of cruelty. It is a murder of grief, a murder of selfishly prioritizing one's own desires over what is just or right. And at its core, this was a murder of convenience, so that one grandmother could live closer to her grandchildren. She killed their father and ripped the children from the other grandparents' lives. Donna Adelson's crimes against Dan began long before his murder. She belittled Dan in front of his children. She spread lies about him and contributed to a brutal separation between Dan and Wendy. She rented the house, and Dan came home and he found that Wendy and the boys were gone with most of their belongings. He called this devastation Pearl Harbor. Donna's eagerness for Wendy to divorce Dan and to relocate to South Florida led her to increasingly devise desperate schemes. Despite these efforts, the court ruled that Wendy could not move the boys away from their loving father. Failing to achieve her goal through legal means, Donna finally resorted to orchestrating Dan's murder. She plotted, planned, and paid for his murder. Donna's crimes led to further devastation. Her middle son, Charlie, was convicted and sentenced to a life in prison for his role in facilitating Danny's murder for hire. Can you imagine a mother involving a son to complete a murder? Donna's eldest son, Rob, an honest and decent man, is estranged from the family, and her younger child, Wendy, has decided once again to relocate to another state. Her actions and those of her co-conspirators have caused children to lose their parents. Catherine McManus, Freda Garcia, and Charlie Adelson, also convicted, are all convicted for life and have lost access to their children. Prior to her arrest, to her arrest. Donna's recorded phone calls with Charlie reveal their lack of a moral compass or capacity for self-reflection. She blames external forces for her family's curse. They're outside of her, but she is the curse, and lashes out angrily at witnesses who took the brave step to testify. Her modus operandi has always been to run from Tallahassee and then to try to flee to Vietnam. For our family, there is no such prospect for escape. That leaves a hole at the center of our lives, no matter where we go. Yet Dan's murder was not enough for Donna. His death was not enough. Danny had to be fully erased from his beloved sons. The boy's last name was ever changed, an extraordinary decision to excise the Markell name from Phil's only grandsons who shared his last name. And after the first arrests were made, Donna didn't allow the Markell family to have access for over 6 years. It was only when there was a phenomenal Tallahassee advocacy group that passed the Markell Act. The passage of this bill was immediately followed by our first invitation to see the boys after the rest. The door only cracked open. Despite these efforts, we remain excluded from the boys' lives. We were not at their bar mitzvahs or graduations. We have extremely highly choreographed visits and communications. We only wait for the day that Benjamin and Lincoln will visit their father and his grave in his father's history and his grave in Toronto. We want nothing more. The facts of Danny's murder, are difficult to swallow. The experiences Phil, Shelley, and I have been forced to suffer are profound as homicide survivors and victims of the criminal system. The lives of Danny's 2 sons, our grandchildren, were forever turned upside down by this crime. Benjamin and Lincoln were only preschoolers when their father was murdered, and now they are forced to confront and try to understand the unthinkable crimes of murder and the Adelsons' involvement. Our lives will never return to normal. For those who love Danny and for those who Danny loved, there is no escape from the wicked effects of what Donna Adelson set in motion, carried out, and paid for, and for many years enjoyed the aftermath of. Donna Adelson has caused immense devastation and an untimely, undeserved murder through her actions, while no trial
Wait, Danny.
ever healed the profound wounds caused by Dan's murder.
What did you do? Why is she talking about you? Serious question. I don't know if this is insensitive. Why is she
What's
wearing
up?
sunglasses inside?
Sensitive eyes.
Sensitive eyes.
Might have had her eyes dilated or something.
Oh, okay.
Something like that, probably.
Yeah, I know nothing about what's going on. I don't know why you sent me the link, Danny, but this will be your undoing, you dumb bitch.
It's going down in flames. Going down in
Justice
flames.
must be served. I respectfully ask the court to impose the maximum sentence on Donna Adelson. Her lack of cooperation and remorse throughout the case demands justice, the justice that Dan's life and memory fully deserve. We are immensely grateful to the court for its careful and compassionate deliberation. Respectively, Ruth Markell.
Thank you, Ms. Markell. Are there any other victim impact statements this evening? If you please could tell us your name for the record.
Good evening. My name is Phil Markell. I'm Danny's father.
Danny, that's your dad.
I appreciate the opportunity to speak about the impact of Donna Adelson's actions on my families and the families of so many others. While this victim impact statement is addressed to you, Your Honor, it is also intended for the Adelson family, Harvey, Charlie, Wendy, and particularly Donna. I would like them to understand and reflect on the deep and irreparable damage they have caused. The pain that they have caused my family is obvious and permanent, but they have also caused lifelong harm to their own immediate family and so many other families and children around. Donna's selfishness, cruelty, and complete disrespect for human life, along with that of her co-conspirators, have left families forever broken. Louis Rivera, his children have no father. Catherine Magbanawa and Sigfredo Garcia, their children have no parents. Charlie Adelson, his son, Roman, has no father. Rob Adelson and his wife and their 2 children have lost their uncle and grandparents. Shelley and Ian, my daughter, their 3 children, my grandchildren, are left without an uncle and are separated from their cousins. Of course, their heinous and callous actions have left me, Ruth, and Shelley without our Danny, and Ben and Lincoln without their father. For anyone to commit such a cold-blooded, unprovoked act of murder is horrific.
I like how
For
Danny will
Donna,
say hi to
someone who
people in the
claims to
chat,
care.
but he won't say hi to me or Laleen. Have you noticed that?
I was trying to
Bring
be
us up, you
quiet.
won't even say hi, but he's like, "What's up, Clerk? Clerk's not even here on panel with you, you rude son
I
of a
know, I'm
bitch."
trying to be quiet. Oh, dogs are.
I've gotten used to
So
it.
much about Ben and Lincoln. Her son.
Like he doesn't want us here.
Just depends on when you come up here. But I can stop them. Dogs are barking like crazy. I don't know what they're.
That's cool. I don't even want to talk anymore, Danny. Just play the fucking thing.
Actions are beyond comprehension. She has harmed forever the people she claims to have loved. In the Jewish custom, we have an expression to always wish others to live to 120 years of age. For Donna, I wish her to live to 120, alone in her jail cell. I wish that every day of her remaining days, she thinks about the harm she has caused to so many, especially those 2 boys she claims to have loved so much. For these reasons, Your Honor, I ask the court sentence Donna Adelson to the maximum possible sentence. And my only short question to Donna, was it worth it? Respectfully, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Markel. Are there any other matters that the court needs to address this evening, Ms. Koppelman? With the PSI being ordered, the court will pronounce the sentence as to counts 2 and 3 after it's been completed. The parties have had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report and make any objections if they believe they need to. As to the 3 counts that the jury has found the defendant guilty of, I will adjudicate her guilty at this time, but sentence will be pronounced as to the 3 counts at a later date. She is remanded for sentencing at this time. Lieutenant Henry, please notify the commander at the jail that the appropriate screening needs to take place to ensure that the defendant is in an area where she is not subject to any self-harm. For a case management date coming up, what would the parties request?
Students October 4th, Your Honor.
Leave that is 10/14. Is that correct, Ms. Dugan? October 14th for case management at 2:30 p.m. That will be in the normal courtroom 3B. Patricia, if you can make sure that the notice goes to DOC so they are aware that the PSI needs to be completed as soon as possible. Thank you. We are in recess at this time. We will reconvene on October 14th. Have a good evening, everyone.
Bam. October 14th.
Wait, let's see if she fights with the court officer.
Yeah, let's see. Take her down.
She just wants to tell Harvey where she hid the money.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, look at, yeah, that chick's.
And the one-way plane ticket.
I bet that chick, that blonde chick would take Danny. You know how strong that jaw is.
Yeah, probably.
One hell of a jawline, Danny.
I mean,
Did they ever show Harvey?
I'm a weak piece of shit.
Did they ever show Harvey after the verdict?
I think so.
I wonder if he stayed in there afterwards for the impact statements.
I'm sure the camera angles may have it. It's only 2 victim statements. I think that's it.
Do y'all think they're on the way to the airport?
Safely turn it off.
Connor says, I'd let her cuff and stuff me.
Oh my God, Connor, I bet he would. That strong jawline. He likes a man's jawline on a woman.
I'm pretty sure her girlfriend could beat y'all up.
Probably so. PH.
I already said I'm a weak piece of shit.
Yeah, he did. Noodle's mama is here. Wow. That's awesome.
Not the
What's
tornado
up,
warning
Noodle's
part.
mama? No, not the tornado warning part, but the fact that Noodle's mama's here. What up? I'm glad you finally come hang out with us. Come hang out with us. All right.
So we need a poll. We need a poll on Wendy and Harvey now.
Sorry, I saved my poll for Danny.
Is this gonna be it? Or is someone gonna be arrested at the airport soon?
That's a good question. But you can't. That's not a poll. That's not yes or no.
Danny.
Huh?
Said get creative. I'm sure you can do that somehow.
Yeah. I'll just ask. Just ask. But you want to watch the closing arguments, man? What's up, Wallflower? Gingy. Yeah, let's watch the closing arguments. Supposedly very powerful prosecution closing arguments.
So where is
fucking long.
Where's Mary B? I see her in the chat.
At work.
At work. Stuck on that, Mary B. I'm here and you're not.
Yeah.
Fucking
Gotcha,
throw it in
Mary
your
B.
face.
Gotcha. Yeah. You're right, Ginger. It's like 15 minutes after every time. It's crazy. But I really don't care. If you want to go listen to that song, go listen to it. Lauren, you already watched these closing arguments?
I listened to the end of the defenses and the rebuttal from the state, but I did not listen to the state at all.
Supposedly very powerful, but Toy said it's very boring.
I heard it was boring.
Oh my God, those dogs.
Y'all shouldn't be so popular.
Yeah, Danny just got home from work and his dogs are barking.
Funny. Let's check them out for a little while. If they suck, I'm gonna stop it.
A colleague, a mentor, a professor, a friend.
Wallflower says it's boring too.
I just heard it was just hearing the facts all over again. I mean, the defenses was kind of interesting of how naive they were. Kind of like appalling.
We can skip to the defense if y'all want to. We'll listen to a few minutes of this. If it doesn't catch on, then we'll swap over. Let's see what Georgia, isn't that her name, Georgia? Let's see what Georgia has to say. It's a long ass closing statement too. It's like 2 hours. That's a little too long. I'm with Bev on that. Get it done in an hour.
But most of all, a father.
You have 2 hours
Dad.
when they had what? How many weeks of testimony? 2?
And yeah,
And Bev wants an hour for a month. It's ridiculous.
smart.
No, it's
Sit
not.
there and listen to this lady ramble on for 2 hours.
I could listen to Jackson for well over 2 hours though, and he needed it.
Yeah, you're right. But she ain't Alan Jackson.
A dedicated and loving father whose downfall was brought about by the fact that his number one priority was maximizing his time with those little boys in the wake of a bitter divorce from their mother. Defense called witnesses to come in here and give you an expert opinion that his divorce and the subsequent litigation was not contentious. Not contentious to whom? It was contentious to Dan Markel. It was contentious to Wendy Adelson. And it was contentious to this defendant. And then after telling you what a great guy Dan Markel was in opening statements, they called witnesses to tell you what a pain in the butt he was. And he was a pain in the butt to those people, those awful lawyers that can't even admit that divorces.
Dean, are you in this trial?
Yes.
They're referring to you right now. Did you?
I didn't.
You need to rewind that a little bit?
Do it.
And the subsequent litigation was not contentious. Not contentious to whom? It was contentious to Dan Markel. It was contentious to Wendy Adelson. And it was contentious to this defendant. And then after telling you what a great guy Dan Markel was in opening statements, they called witnesses to tell you what a pain in the butt he was. And he was a pain in the butt to those people, those awful lawyers that can't even admit that divorces are emotionally charged. He was a pain in their butts. He was a pain in Wendy's butt, and he was a pain in Donna's butt. Why? Because this was his life we were talking about. Dan Markel was not a file on some lawyer's desk. He was a real person who cared passionately about every scrap of paper in that divorce file. He wasn't some bumbling idiot. He was a Harvard-educated law professor. And
Yeah, since Dean doesn't really go to the page and shit, it's his favorite person. We gotta watch this real quick. Steve's big shout out.
Please be a troll. Please be a prank call.
Call from
Steve.
Steve, what's up, buddy?
That's my dog. That's my dog.
Hey, just wanted to give a shout out to Rat House Media and Danny and Connie and Mary B.
And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
Oh, okay. I see Red House Media right here. All right. Right on.
We love you, Clara. We fucking love you.
I love you guys too, I think. You guys like have a channel or something? What's going on? Are you guys just like a
Yeah, we got a
little
YouTube channel.
You guys are a little gang or what's up?
Can I pick that dog?
Yeah. No.
Can I pick that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pick that dog?
Yeah, we're a little clique.
This man Dean right here. I don't know which one you are, Dean, but probably the shorter one.
Probably the shorter one.
That one.
Okay, right on.
We're going to be, later we're getting together. We're going to be watching the game, having a bud.
Okay.
What's up? What's up?
Hell yeah. I love you guys today.
You said you wanted to talk to a troll, so you're talking to a troll.
Oh, I already talked to 2 so far. Yeah, no, it's great. I love it. Everybody loves Steve.
Listen, Will.
Listen well. All right, back to this.
He was making it as difficult as possible for this defendant to get her non-negotiable, which just also happened to be Dan Markel's non-negotiable, those two little boys. You have learned about this conspiracy and how it has unraveled over the last 11 years since Dan Markel's death. The defendants in this case have all attempted to point fingers at each other. They have argued that the state's theory is right. It's right. You got it right. With everybody except for me. I didn't do it. Garcia's defense was that Charlie went directly to Rivera to arrange the hit on Dan Markel. Catherine Magbanua testified in her trial and said she had no knowledge of this murder. Charlie must have gone around her directly to Garcia. In Charlie's trial, he said Magbanua, Garcia, and Rivera all got together to kill Dan Markel without any direction from any Adelson family member. Each defendant characterized himself or herself as another victim in this case. A victim in this situation, a victim of their co-defendants, setting them up, or the appearance of evidence that seemed to implicate them but wasn't what it appeared to be. But despite their efforts to insulate themselves and to distance themselves from their co-conspirators, they made enough mistakes to get themselves caught and held accountable.
Connor made that video, obviously, which I would think that I made. Could have been Dean, but it wasn't. It was Connor.
For their respective roles in this conspiracy. And today, it's Donna Adelson's turn. Despite their efforts to play victims, Dan Markel is still the only victim in this case. And the only thing he was guilty of was fighting like hell for those little boys. And he lost. He lost everything. This is what he looked like before. This defendant conspired to hire a hitman to have him killed. And this is what he looked like after. The evidence has shown that on July 18th, 2014, this brilliant, accomplished, beloved man was gunned down in cold blood in his own garage.
What's up?
This horrific death ultimately set the police down two separate paths, following the two most promising leads that they had. The first lead was to chase down that Prius that, thank God, Mr. Geiger caught a glimpse of pulling out of the driveway that morning. And the second path was to ask, as we would with any murder investigation, who had a motive to want him dead? And within 1 hour of the shooting, well before Professor Markel had even been pronounced dead, this path was already pointing to the defendant when Wendy Adelson revealed to officers that her parents had more reason to dislike her ex than anyone else. And what offense had Mr. Markel committed against Donna Adelson, her family, refusing to let his children be taken away from him? Objecting to her telling his kids that he's stupid? The evidence has shown that Donna Adelson was all about psychological warfare. And when all else failed, she was willing to do whatever it took to accomplish her non-negotiable, to get a win. In order for you to render a verdict of guilty, the state must prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that these crimes were committed and that this defendant is the person who committed the crimes, or in this case, one of the persons who committed the crimes. It is undisputed that these crimes were committed. This was a first-degree murder. No doubt about that. But who did it? The only issue left is identification, or what we call ID. The defense told you in openings, motive doesn't really matter. Don't pay attention to all the motive. Don't pay attention to all the emails. But motive can be compelling proof of who done it. Identification. And thus, critical to your determination of the defendant as one of the persons that committed this crime. Despite some of the testimony that you heard, it is clear that the divorce between Wendy and Dan was contentious. Except the person who cared most about Wendy's divorce and relocation specifically wasn't Wendy. It was her mother. Charlie Adelson solicited Catherine Magbanua to kill Dan Markel, but why? Who solicited Charlie? Because Charlie didn't care about the Adelson family getting a win against Dan Markel. He didn't care about relocation. He didn't care about Wendy's divorce. He cared about go-karts and jet skis and pretty girls. But he also cared about getting things done for the number one woman in his life, and that was his mother. She managed Charlie's life for him, and in return, he solved problems for her. That pattern is seen throughout this case. He talks to Wendy on the defendant's behalf to get her to pull the plug on the Tallahassee house, to date Dave and invite him to Mother's Day, to pursue a medical malpractice job, even though that's not even her area of the law, and on and on and on. She micromanaged Wendy's life. Charlie knows how to manage Wendy in a way that Donna can't, or knows how to talk to her in a way that Donna can't. And Wendy needs their help, right? Because according to them, she doesn't even have enough of a brain in her head to run her own life without their help. Donna decides what's best for everyone, and if she runs into any problems making that happen, Charlie is her go-to guy to get it done.
I see how it is, Lois. We'll see you when Zelda's. They got all them people. It's way more fun, way more entertaining. I see how it is. But they don't have Dean. And we do.
Fuck Dean.
Or Lolly.
For now. Well, Dean may end up on Zelda's show. I mean, Could pop up there. Not with whatever microphone is using. Your phone's kicking, killing, dying. Sound like a little baby robot.
Nice.
Nice. I knew this content and this closing arguments would get a big crowd, Ginger. See, I told you. Huge crowd.
He is the problem solver. And what was the biggest problem that Donna Adelson had in 2014? Dan Markel. Wendy filed her petition for divorce on September 10th of 2012, and the defendant was right in the middle of it. In the fall of 2012, the defendant told her son, Rob Adelson, that she had been in Tallahassee for several months, renting a new place for Wendy. She used her own maiden name to do that, to disguise the identity of who was renting it, arranging for movers, moving money around, and getting things set up for Wendy to leave Dan. Then Wendy calls Dan Markel and delivers the news that she's leaving him. How does she do it? She tells him she and the boys are moving out of the marital home, and the defendant gleefully, that was Rob's word, reported to Rob, her son, that she and Wendy strategically planned to deliver that news to Mr. Markel so that he would get this bomb dropped on him right as he was about to take the stage to deliver this lecture. According to Mr. Markel in one of his filings, quote, while the husband was away on a short business trip, the wife left the husband in the marital home, taking with her the children's furniture, clothing, toys, and whatever assets, both marital and non-marital, she desired. Evidence has shown that from the start, this defendant was very involved in managing Wendy's divorce. In October of 2012, defendant writes an email entitled "Things to Discuss at Your Mediation to Make Sure You Have in Writing for a Settlement," in which she refers to Wendy as a hostage and a prisoner in Tallahassee. That's what she believed. The email also includes the suggestion that Wendy pursue a restraining order against Dan Markel, that Wendy should go for 100% full custody of those two kids and relocation, and the threat of this conversion to Christianity. Quote, if he leaves you in Tallahassee, the children will not be attending Hebrew day school. That's not a threat, just a warning. A warning that her friend, Ms. Cunningham, on the stand dismissed. Oh, that was just a foolish thing to say, right? But the characterization of these threats as, just something that was a one-off heat of passion thing has been completely destroyed by the evidence in this case, because she repeats it. She plans it with a lot of specificity. Wendy even admitted that her mom was serious about planning a baptism for these kids to change their religion as a ruse to try to strong-arm Dan Markel into giving up those kids. This is an example of the defendant operating with the emotional subterfuge as described by her daughter, Wendy Adelson. Also remember how her son, Rob, described her. She has rigid and fixed ideas of what she wants. And as long as you comply, things are fine. But when you don't comply, things are not fine. Wendy even admitted that if Dan had relented and moved to South Florida, or at least allowed her to move there, they might have co-parented happily ever after. But Dan did not comply, so things were definitely not fine. The defendant ends this email with, quote, we will help you in any way possible for you to come here. In October, this defendant drafted language for Wendy's petition to relocate, including allegations that Wendy had been upset about having to live in Tallahassee since 2005, and a mention of putting the boys in a Christian school and on a non-kosher diet. Again, that's not a threat, just a reality. And the suggestion that the boys live in South Florida with Wendy and Dan just fly back and forth to see his kids. He can just come see them every other weekend by airplane. Doesn't that sound like an amicable, equal time sharing that the lawyers or the defense described was going on here? Wendy's lawyer says she had no knowledge of Wendy's mom being involved in her divorce, but the evidence shows she absolutely was. Wendy sends the proposed petition for relocation from her lawyer to the defendant with a note that says, here it is, let's edit. And the defendant responds the next day with detailed feedback, including an argument that Dan Markel is incapable of taking care of his own children and that Wendy should seek 100% custody. Arguments which Wendy forwarded to her lawyer as her own. And upon receiving the lawyer's answer, she sends the lawyer's answer back to the defendant. That's in evidence. Defendant's thoughts about Wendy's earning potential and her work environment in Tallahassee. Arguments about she'd be better off with this other job that's higher paying in Miami. The defendant says she's been living in Tallahassee, that the defendant, has been living in Tallahassee since the petition was filed to help Wendy with the boys. In January of 2013, the defendant advises Wendy on her amended petition to relocate. And this is where the argument is raised about the job as a major bargaining chip in the divorce. The defendant writes here that Dan needs to know that there's no way in hell Wendy is going to stay at FSU. On January 14th, Wendy files an amended petition with request to relocate, which you can read and see. The petition contains many of the defendant's arguments. She couches this relocation in terms of not only important, but like a matter of life and death. Look at these quotes. It will create a major negative change in our lives. It will ruin your entire life. The rest of all our lives, mine, Dad's, and even Charlie's, will be affected by how well she can perform and act before July 31st to try to get this relocation thing turned around. Donna has even started pre-screening men for Wendy to date in the Miami area. In February, Dan files his response to Wendy's motion to relocate, alleging Wendy took his stuff when she left. The sole reason for relocation is to be close to her mother and family in South Florida, and that contrary to what Wendy put in her plea, he was not seeking to leave FSU. He wasn't trying to move. Wendy failed to comply with their Skype
So,
agreement.
Jason
That Wendy
Smith.
exhibited deceitful behavior, made false statements, showed a lack of integrity, and had unclean hands. Those are some pretty nasty words. Maybe not the worst thing that the defense expert's ever seen, but pretty nasty. Dan Markel requests sole decision-making authority for these kids regarding education, medical, and religious matters. The defense lawyer witnesses said, oh, that was never going to work. Maybe that's true. But these were concerns that Dan Markel took seriously. There's tons of discussions in evidence in these binders before you, in the pleadings and in the emails about Dan Markel's desire to raise these boys in accordance with his faith and his concerns that his wishes were going to go right out the window as soon as the boys went over to be with Wendy or her mother. And defendant took this matter seriously too. She made it crystal clear in these emails that she had no respect for these boys' father's wishes for them regarding religious practices. In this email, defendant says she's sitting at Wendy's kitchen table working on Wendy's response to the filing we just talked about that Dan Markel made. So much for her having no involvement in her daughter's divorce. She says in this email to a friend, all Wendy wants out of this is to relocate to South Florida, where she has us and Charlie. Danny is making it very difficult. On March 5th, 2013, defendant sends a long email in response to every paragraph of Dan Markel's arguments against relocation, including that Dan's religious practices are fanatical and dangerous to the boys, and that Dan Markel is psychologically unfit to have custody of his children. It's not sounding very amicable, is it? In opening statements, the defendant's attorney acknowledged that Dan Markel was an intelligent, accomplished professor and a dedicated father, and the state could not agree more. But the evidence has shown that her client didn't agree with that. Donna Adelson repeatedly paints Dan Markel as a self-important idiot who's not fit to care for his own children. On March 6, 2013, Dan Markel sends Wendy an email threatening to take her to court over her failure to cooperate with the Skype thing. That comes up repeatedly. Here he says, you've made zero efforts to facilitate that when you or your mother could have easily done so. I don't want conflict or tension. I desperately want peace and joy. Please let that happen, but do not mistake my politeness or desire for cooperation as a lack of firmness. I will not tolerate failures on your part to keep our agreements. They did have a Skype agreement, and she was violating it, and he was furious about it. This email was forwarded by Wendy to this defendant, so she knows about all this stuff. Dan Markel sent Wendy an email in December, which was pretty personal, and in which he apologizes for things that went.
You're muted.
What's up, Mary B?
Hey, what's up?
Is that better, Dean?
I mean,
That's how
it's
how you're
thing
supposed
now.
to do it. That's
It's
right.
a thing now,
Stop it.
I guess.
Say hey.
Yeah, well, sorry. Sorry.
You said hi to Mary B, but me and Laleen can go screw ourselves, I guess. Thanks, Danny. I see you play favorites. But it's okay. I'll get you back, Danny. I'll get you back.
Oh, God.
I won't forget things. I'm like a fucking elephant, but like a skinny elephant. A skinny elephant with a boyish face and boyish charm.
What about how I left Sweet Woman in the green room for literally 15 minutes the other night?
Did you really? That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. I didn't mean to. We were watching Microdots. I got lost.
No wonder she's not here. Great job, Danny. You ran off another one.
Sweet Woman sent me a text, me and Janine a text today.
Fuck you, Dean.
Because when we all went to CF McCarthy's, there was another couple that me and Janine had met at the courthouse. And they were also at CF McCarthy's, and they took a picture of us. And Janine, I think, was supposed to swap information so that we could get the picture, but she never did. And Sweet Woman saw them again tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, and I don't think they're from here. I think they're visiting again. Anyway, that was funny.
Yeah. What do you think about these closing arguments, Mary B?
Well, I did not get to watch them.
Were you going to watch them when you got home? You're like, I'm gonna watch this.
Maybe I was gonna just at least get highlights, but is this like just the prosecution? That's 2 hours.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
it is.
Hi, Steve.
Pauline, how fast can we listen to this realistically?
I don't know. I didn't listen to the prosecution. I just listened to her rebuttal, and I listened to the defenses. I mean, the defenses is funny to me, and the rebuttal was funny.
So we just skip because this is boring.
I mean, we already know the story.
Yeah.
I did get the message, Steve. Thank you so much. That was hilarious. Sorry, I'm talking to chat.
What message? What message did Steve send?
You know the message.
Mm. Oh, Noodle's mama joined the Discord. Oh,
Oh,
nice.
yay.
Didn't know that. I haven't looked
Hi,
today.
Charlotte.
What's up,
Danny,
Charlotte?
did you see the pictures of Mary B with Turtle Boy?
I did.
He's just so famous. And Scott McGinnis in there too.
Yeah, we're just, we hang out a lot.
Where were those pictures at?
Somebody's Facebook.
They're under Toys Rat.
See, I
Dude,
can't find them.
I'll send them to you.
Nah, I got them right here.
Yeah.
But Toy's been working on everybody's rat suit since we're goofing off.
Like, extremely impressive work.
Yeah.
Very good stuff.
Let's look at it.
Scott's was great. Janine's Wednesday one was hilarious.
Scott McGinnis.
Very nice.
Caroline Fourth. Janine's is extra.
Love that for her.
No, I won't do it. Brooklyn, Jermaine, Charlotte, Booby. There is your rat.
Charlotte got a new updated one too.
Yeah, Right Song and Sweet Woman got an updated one.
That's a nice one.
And then Janine got hers redone. And here
Hey, there's me.
is-
I'm like over smiling in all these pictures. So weird.
I mean, who wouldn't be
'Cause
cheesing
you're
a Turtle
extra
Boy
happy.
walked in front of him?
I know, that's what I do. I call it the permagrin. Like when I don't know what else to do, I'm just like,
Extra. Yeah, that was hilarious.
there's Gary.
Gary.
On there with
Him
Benny
shaking hands
Politan
with-
and everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Meredith.
That picture
Gary.
of Gary shaking his hand. That's hilarious.
There's Lee McGinnis, Mary the Bee, and Turtle Boy. Nice. Wow.
Do we look nice together? I'm just kidding. Oh my God.
It's hilarious. All right, so let's skip over and see if this lady's any better. I bet you one thing. This lady right here, she won't back down.
The way she tries to argue everything is what's so amusing and entertaining.
Danny, they're demanding you kick me in the chat. Let's see, we got
you. That's
They're gonna beat you up. They're gonna jump you if you go in the chat.
we got DA Talk saying, "Can you kick that
Oh,
guy?"
No one listens to that guy.
Nobody
Dean
listens to him.
sucks.
Yeah, nobody
Gigi
listens to
says,
that guy.
Dean, fuck off. DA Talk says, "Yeah, fuck off, Dean." Angel's demanding you kick me.
Yeah, I
a
read
lot of
all that.
a lot of hate for me, Danny.
That's why people are here, just to see how the train wreck goes. You and Tom Petty's clothing. Don't
Yeah.
come around here no more, dude.
She's just an American girl.
Because we won't back down.
Good afternoon. It's been a long day. We've heard a lot. And I hope you'll stay awake so you can hear me too, okay?
Dean,
So,
a little tiny
it's been,
rat
what, 2.5 weeks, I
feet.
guess, since you started this venture with us. And you've heard
So
an awful lot.
Calypso.
And I'd like to take you back to my opening statement. In my opening statement, there were some things referred to today that I'd like to address. The first one is that I stood up in my opening statement and said all of these wonderful things about Dan Markell, and then I called witnesses to attack him. That is not true. That is not true. In fact, the defense is the only part of this case that actually elicited evidence through testimony about the good qualities of Dan Markell. We elicited that on cross from his ex-wife, Wendy. And all of the things I told you in opening about what a wonderful man he was, a wonderful father, well-educated, successful, we elicited that testimony. And criticized today for having two witnesses who came and testified on the stand about the dissolution case and things that had been filed in it. That was not to attack Danny Markell. We didn't put that evidence on. The state is the one that made it an issue. They put those documents into evidence, the things that Mr. Markell had filed. So we're the defense and we represent Donna Adelson, and we're just supposed to say, okay, well, they put it in, let's just let it sit there. We have an obligation to represent our client. And what happened in that divorce, whether it was contentious or not, was an issue the state brought up. They've been calling this a bitter custody battle for years. And they started this case by saying the same thing. So to have the people who were actually involved in the case point out that there never was a bitter custody battle is important, because there never was one. There was never a time when they were fighting over somebody having access to the children. In those pleadings, nobody says, you can't have them, I've got them. You can't have them, I've got them. When they filed their initial pleadings, they did what everybody, according to the lawyer who was on the case for Mrs. Adelson, meaning Wendy, on the case for Wendy, they all filed their typical pleadings. And in the beginning, you asked for certain stuff, and she asked for 5149, maybe for a tax purpose. But there was never one single time, and you can't be convinced that relocation was the issue where they were going to take Danny Markel's kids away from them. If you believe that, you are ignoring the evidence that the state of Florida put on against Donna Adelson. And when I told you in opening that this was all about theory and belief of what a motive was, and there was no evidence that a crime was committed by my client, Donna Adelson, that is exactly what has happened in this courtroom. The state is ignoring the evidence that came in through their witnesses that support our defense, and instead they stand before you with calls and text messages, and they tell you what they mean. That's not evidence. Their argument about what a conversation means is not evidence. You decide what it means. You've got it in front of you, and you have to consider it in the context of all of the evidence that's presented, not just what the state puts in, but what the defense puts in. And I know at some point when we were putting on evidence, you all were looking probably at me like, what are you doing? Who cares? Some of those little.
Why is Dean the only person that's noticed I got a new camera? I don't look like I'm in 1975 anymore.
You got it like the last time when I was here and you weren't, Dean.
No, I was here when he got the new camera. I was because I was staying in downtown
Charlie, what's
Denver
up?
that day. But Danny, I think it's really more that people just kind of want to act like they can't see your face. Which,
That's what I want to act like too. I'm with them. Like I'm fucking with you.
You guys
I was
keep your eyes
pleasantly
off Danny. That's my
I
man.
told you I've taken 12 pictures my whole life, and after senior year of high school, that was it.
Including the one that
Couple
MJ
with my wife.
got from the Discord.
Yeah, that's it.
Dean's here.
Yo, what's up,
I was
Janine?
pleasantly surprised, Danny, to see on your short today that you posted, I could see your reflection in the window.
Yeah, I think Gingy pointed that out.
Well, I sit here on this thing all night, so it really doesn't bother me much anymore. But as long as the picture's real small up here, it's real small. So I
Yeah,
can't see.
when we were first in Discord, he posted a picture and it was
Crush
like
your
5
head.
seconds later. Take the picture down. Where did I post that? I can't find it.
And he was like, you have 5 minutes, 10, whatever it was. You have
Yeah.
1 hour. And then we were like, damn. And MJ said, don't worry. I screenshot it. So it's forever memorialized. We got that.
Janine, did you see your new rat suit?
I fucking love it.
That
It's
shit is
Wednesday.
fire.
It's Wednesday, Janine.
But the hand is
So
on.
awesome.
I can't. Like I looked at that thing. I was like, wait, what is that? It's like, fuck.
It's
Oh my
badass.
God. I know.
All right, let's listen to a little more Tom Petty right
Thank you, Toy.
now. Breakdown. This is Tom Petty's breakdown. Go
Doesn't
ahead
matter.
and
And I'm
give
going to
it.
cover those in the defense, and you'll see why we put those things in that didn't seem like that I had a hoot to do with anything, because they actually did. Now, I think the state, near the beginning of the case, and I don't recall who the witness was, but near the beginning of the case, the state, through a law enforcement officer, elicited testimony about how this event transpired, this brutal killing of Danny Markel, how it transpired, and how they were able to break the case. And what did they tell you? They told you they broke the case because Luis Rivera, who was one of the killers, decided he would cooperate with the state of Florida in exchange for a deal, which for his crime, he ended up, the testimony was, he got 7 more years for committing that crime. This is the man who got in the car, got the gun off the street, drove up to Tallahassee, Florida, stalked, is the best way I can describe it, Danny Markel in a car with his children from his home, watched him take his little boys out of his car and put them into the daycare center, followed him again to where he went to work out at Premier Gym, and sat and wait for him. Sat and wait for him. And then when Mr. Markel came out, trying to work some things out with his ex-wife, Wendy, about having the kids and who's picking them up at what time, even leaves her a really nice voicemail that they could get together and walk at the school to talk about the education of their older child, where he was going to be going to school because he was going to be starting kindergarten. And Wendy pushed back. She pushed back. This was his time with his little boys, and she's telling him no. I've got plans. Well, it wasn't her time to do that. So leading up to his death, she's arguing with him over about an hour and a half worth of time that she thinks she's entitled to with the kids, but it's his time. And I agree with the state of Florida. The most important thing to that man was those little boys. And he fought for every minute he could get, and rightfully so. Then he drives home in his car while he's on the phone, and Luis Rivera, driving the car that's been stalking him all day, pulls up behind him in his driveway. Sigfredo Garcia gets out and shoots him twice in the head, and they pull off at a pretty high rate of speed and leave Danny Markel dying inside his garage. Left him to die. Those are the people that killed Danny Markel, those two people. And the state has all kinds of arguments about how Mrs. Adelson's involved because she said these things about him, and we'll get to that in a second. But if Luis Rivera is telling the truth, what did he tell you when he got on the stand? What did he tell you? He said, and this is his signature on this document, dated March 11th, 2025, when he was deposed, and those numbers and circles are his. And he testified to you that Catherine Manbanaway is the person that elicited Sigfredo Garcia to kill Danny Markel. Now, her versions change over time, so we'll have to address a few of those. And then she says she didn't even know Luis Rivera was involved. This is a woman that the state has admitted lied. First time, second time, third time, fourth time, maybe the fifth time. Every time she puts herself under oath and swears to tell the truth, she's going to say more. She told you she didn't even know Luis Rivera was involved, but the phone records that were put in by the state of Florida prove otherwise. Because during the time that they're traveling to Tallahassee, when she can't reach Sigfredo Garcia, whose phone is she calling? She's calling Luis Rivera. This woman can't tell the truth. But in any event, Luis Rivera then puts this number 2 next to Sigfredo Garcia because he's the one who actually killed Danny Markel. Number 3 next to himself because he's the one who got the gun and drove the car to kill Danny Markel and then away from the scene. This is the man that he says they killed. Who else on this document do you recognize? On this exhibit, who else? Who else was involved in this? Well, all the players that the state claims are involved are pictured on this document, and he says, Wendy Adelson, she's the lady who wanted to get her kids back. This is why we were committing the crime. Wendy Adelson. And Doctor, the dentist, he called him, which is Charlie Adelson, who he identified, was the one with Katie. This one and this one are the reasons that they're coming to Tallahassee to kill Dan Markel. And I said, well, what about Donna Adelson or Harvey Adelson? No, they weren't involved. I said, would you put an X next to them if they weren't involved? And he did. Donna Adelson's name never came up, but Luis Rivera is telling the truth, according to the state. That's who you're supposed to believe, and he says my client is not involved. There's some issues that I might address further, but I want to go through some of the things that the state stood up and told you. Relocation, 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 that's the issue. That is the reason that my client had Danny Markel killed, because relocation was lost. Danny Markel was killed July the 18th of 2014. Relocation was done for over a year. That's the motive. It's been over for a year. And they said yesterday in court that the relocation issue didn't stop when Danny Markel was, when the divorce was over. It continued going on. The email showed that. There is not a single email that's been put in by the state that shows that my client, Donna Adelson, was continuing on a rampage about relocation. The last email that they showed you today that my client wrote about relocation was July the 19th of 2013. The divorce was final on the 31st, said and done. They bring Wendy Adelson in here to testify. That's their witness. And she said it was done. Now, have Charlie Adelson and Wendy Adelson been honest with their mother? The evidence says no, they haven't been. Because the whole time Wendy Adelson is telling her mother, she's telling her mother that relocation is what she wants. She's the one who starts that. She's the one who asks her lawyer about it. The whole time in the spring leading up to this hearing, Wendy Adelson admitted in her testimony, she's sending these messages to her life coach and telling her life coach, you know, I think I want to stay in Tallahassee. But she didn't bother to tell her mother that. Her mother still thinks she's trying to get relocation. She does it in April. And then she writes to her again in May. I think I'm going to give up relocation. I can stay in Tallahassee. The kids will be close to their boys. There won't be any plane rides. And I like my job. It gives me all this flexibility. I'm going to stay. But she still doesn't tell her mother. She has her mother believing we got to fight for this relocation. She testified. Well, what I said, why did your mother get so upset? Well, she's venting to her mother about what she claims Danny Markel is doing. And she's venting to her mother about what she wants to accomplish. Only she's not being honest with her. On the backside, she's making other plans. It'd have been nice for my client, Donna Adelson, to know that, because these emails that have been submitted here, which are proof that she wanted to have Danny Markel killed, would not have been written. And when she goes to her hearing on the relocation in June of 2013, she has her mother stay outside. Her mother can't hear what's going on in the hearing. She admitted she had several witnesses to call beyond the 2 that got on the stand. And then after the judge made the comment, she gave up. She could have continued with the hearing and put her witnesses on. The judge could have ruled against her, and then maybe she has an appellate issue. She gave up because she didn't want it anymore, but she didn't tell her mother that. When she told her mother, well, this is how the judges ruled, the mother understood that through the court system it was done, but not with her daughter, Wendy, because you can continue to negotiate all the way through a final judgment. And that's what those emails say. They do suggest some crazy stuff. They do. But she puts in.
Janine, I was also informed that if you don't use this one as a profile pic, then we got to shut the channel down.
All right, what are we going to call the new channel? No, I'm kidding.
I can't play with my friends
But-
anymore.
No, I have to. You know what? I'm going to do it now because it's fresh. It's right there.
Yeah, just get it. All right, we'll walk
Yeah, you don't have to
through it.
look for it.
I don't have to
Dean,
look.
are you ready?
Yeah, where did Dean go?
Oh, where did this?
Damn, Irish goodbye.
When we need you, Dean, like
I
seriously.
knew it. Where did he go?
Son of a gun.
Tombstones is gone too.
And then Danny, when we have the new channel, Connor's going to shout out Rat House Media. Connor, I love you.
Connor, that's a good video. So we're gonna walk Janine through it. You ready?
Okay.
You gotta go to Discord and save the photo.
All right. I'm going.
Lauline's on a very powerful Samsung phone. If we get stuck, she can probably send you some extra juice. But it's very easy. I've changed my profile picture 6,400 times.
An episode.
Yeah, per chat.
I love
You used
He
to
is the
change
expert.
it. Yes, it's easy.
Okay.
All right, you got it saved to your photos.
Hang on 1 second.
Just hold long press on. Long press. Save the photos.
All right, wait. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna crop, and then
Crop. Oh, she's way past where I'm at.
save the photos. Okay, now let me see if I can do this. All right, so what do I do? Now I need help.
Now go to your YouTube. Just your
Okay.
homepage or whatever.
Oh, like the regular. Okay.
And she has to do it in StreamYards too for her panel.
Yeah.
Can I do
Lauline. Damn it, Lauline. You're trying to derail this shit. We made it to step 2 already.
She's not Little Miss. Come on. You can do that.
She's changed her profile picture once since I met her.
Little Miss is much more advanced.
Fucking
than I am.
aggravated the shit out of her for 8 months. She changed it once.
That Little Miss.
Yes.
All right. So I'm on
I
my
just
phone.
assumed she didn't want to since
All
she's
right, you're
never
on your
come
phone.
on panel.
All right.
I'm on my phone.
All right, you're on your phone.
I'm on the iPad and StreamYard.
All right,
But
we're
I'm on my
just
phone.
pulling up. Just pull up YouTube on your phone.
Okay.
All right. Pulling
Gotcha.
up. All right, is it up?
Yes.
Click on your little windy face at the bottom right. It says
Okay.
view. All right, you there?
Yep.
All right, click on view channel.
Oh. Share chat. Wait.
View channel.
Okay. All right. Yes. Okay.
See that little pencil floating over there?
Yes, brother.
Click it. All right. Now you see the camera over your picture?
Yes.
Click it.
Like butter.
Choose from your photos. All right. You there?
Yeah.
Everyone in the
See
chat.
your new
can do
rap
it
picture?
too.
I see it. It's in. Yes, but I don't. It's not.
Click
in, Okay. But I
Click
did now. Okay. So what do I do? It's in
All
the camera circle icon.
Hold on. Let me get there. I wasn't expecting you to make it this far. I gotta find a profile to change to.
See, I told you, don't underestimate our Janine.
Oh my God, Laline, thank
All
you.
right. Now you gotta
I
just
underestimated your Janine.
just enlarge it and crop it or whatever wherever you want it and let it go and then hit save.
Wait. All right. I think I'm just. I have it saved. I think I'm just gonna go with what it is, and if I need to change it, I'll do it later. But I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah. All right. It should change. Now Lauline will have to walk you through the StreamYard because I don't know what it looks like when y'all come in.
Oh, I think it came out okay. I think so. I got all the important parts. Okay. So Lauline, what do I do here?
You're gonna make me have to go back and look. I think you just go to StreamYard and like before you click to join the stream, you can go on your profile and you can update your profile pic there.
That's it.
Yeah, but Connor, it was for a good cause.
No, there's actually a lot of older people, Connor. Listen, this is why I'm talking slow and low like this. A lot of older
Okay, so I go to settings.
change it.
Is that what I do?
And then what?
I don't fucking know.
Hold on, Samsung's gonna catch up. Just
I
wait.
took a chance.
I'm doing 1,000 things at one time.
What's up,
Y'all-
Stalin? Sorry, Stalin. Bear with us. We're gonna watch this closing arguments, but we're walking Janine through a profile picture.
That's it.
We
One
should
at a time.
remember this
Very-
timestamp so we can send people
Yes.
back here if they ever need to know how to do it.
Exactly, because everyone's gonna need to know.
And Dean fucking
Yeah.
left.
Change your
Dean
answer.
fucking left. Where the
Sorry.
fuck did he go?
Can't you just click on your picture now that's in StreamYard and it lets you change it?
I don't know. Try it.
I don't know.
Thank you, Steve.
I'll walk Janine through it later, one-on-one. 'cause I'm not-
Okay.
No,
Wait,
right
let me
now.
see. Maybe I could do it myself. I'll try.
It's easy.
I'm sure you can. It's pretty much the same thing once you get to the profile pic.
It's
You can
easy.
do the name and profile pic in one part.
Now you got to comment in the chat, and then we'll see if you
Okay.
change it on YouTube.
I don't know. No, it's not what I thought it would be. All right, we'll deal with it later.
Yeah.
I'll do it with
All right,
you,
well, we
Janine,
tried.
I promise.
One at a time.
I said I would do
Baby
it with
steps.
Janine later, one-on-one, I promise.
All right, thanks.
Lawlene 2025.
There, we're trying to negotiate. We're trying to negotiate. Get this, we can still work on
Got
this.
that right,
She
Con.
doesn't know when she's
Make
writing
it-
those crazy
make it video.
emails that there's no reason to write them because her daughter agreed. You know, you can have a dismissal on an issue. You can have denial on an issue. She agreed to it with prejudice, which means it is over. She already made an agreement. She's not going to seek relocation anymore. So my client is hanging out there trying to support her daughter, and now she's sitting in a court of law charged with murder because of what she wrote in emails. Because the truth is, you are here to judge my client based on her conduct leading up to and to the time of death of Danny Markell. That's her conduct. Can you consider things she said and did after to see if it corroborates that she was involved? You can. But her conduct leading up to the day that Danny was murdered is in this book that the state has entered with emails. It's separated between, or you can see it, where they lead up to the divorce and then after the divorce until the time of the homicide. Now, my client did say ugly things about Danny Markell. During the divorce, she did. And the state has put them in. This is State Exhibit 64.
She did it.
And they have emails going up through July the 11th of 2014. These are the bad names that my client called Danny Markell. During the course of a divorce where her daughter is constantly venting to her about what she says Danny is doing, she said some really bad names, and I'm going to say them, although you shouldn't say bad words in court. She called him some ugly stuff. The first one that they wanted to put in was from 2011. He was killed in 2014. They introduced this email from March the 28th of 2011 at 64A, and inside
Charlie, if you're in the Discord, you also have one. Several of them.
that email, they claim, shows the hatred for Danny Markell. And you want to know why? According to their exhibit list here, because Mrs. Adelson referred to Danny's parents as, quote, the royal couple. And she and Wendy were bantering back and forth about some issues with Mr. Markell's parents. That's not hatred on Danny. It's not even hatred on his parents. We're sitting here with murder charges because she did something like that, called somebody a royal couple. She said other bad things. She called Danny a major sucker, Gibbers, which Wendy Adelson testified that she came up with that nickname for him, a religious zealot, and Wendy testified that the issues in their marriage included matters of he had now become more strict in their religion than she wanted to follow. That was one of their problems. She called him a royal jackass, a piece of shit, a fucker, crazy, a bastard, and she called him Elvis. That's why we are sitting here today. That is hatred for somebody. That proves they wanted to have him killed. Are you serious? You call somebody some bad names and that means you wanted him dead? My client has lack of any ability to stop herself from saying things. She can't do it. And I'm not trying to be offensive to her, but she can't. And all of these emails that they have introduced prove it. She is not a one-word person. She goes on and on and on and on. And they believe that she had Danny Markell murdered because she said some bad words. There's not a lick of evidence in here that they submitted of what she did prior to July the 18th, 2014.
What's up, Laura J?
She said not a single word, that she wanted him killed. She was planning to have him killed. She was going to find somebody to kill him. She was going to pay somebody to kill him. She was going to kill him. She was glad he was dead. That's not in here. And this is it. This is it. Before he was killed. You're judging her conduct before he died, up to his death. And that's
If she says she won't back down, I'm gonna fucking lose it. I'm telling you.
She better do it. That would be
She better
so
not. She better not.
She looks like one of the Reservoir Dogs. What was Steve Buscemi? Like with that suit on? Was that a real thing? Did she really wear that? He's not Mr. Blonde.
No.
Which Mr. was he? Connor would know. Danny, do you know which Mr. Steve Buscemi was in Reservoir Dogs? Not Michael Madsen. He was Mr. Blonde. Anybody know?
Are you talking about that picture of her with like that oversized suit that was going around on Twitter?
Oh, is that like a gag? Did she really wear it?
I think that was a gag, but I know who you're talking about.
Oh my god, that was
That's hilarious. If
roasting
she
her.
says I won't back down, I'm gonna freak out. Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Told you that in opening statement. They have a lot of theories, and they like to spin evidence a certain way to make her look bad because she said ugly things. That is not proof of somebody having somebody killed.
Mr.
That's
Kern.
it. Besides the relocation issue, which has been dead for over a year before he's killed, bad choice of words, I apologize. It had ended over a year before he was killed. Now they want to bring in something called the grandmother motion. This is what had to push her over the edge. Their own witnesses said she didn't know about it. See who testified to that. Wendy testified, her daughter, that she never showed it to her and she never talked to her about it. But then there were two more witnesses for the state, and they were Craig Isom and Jason Newland. And when they testified on cross, they admitted that there was no evidence that that motion had ever been forwarded to my client. Not a single piece of evidence. What if she had gotten it? Do you want to know what it accuses her of? That a 3- and 4-year-old said that they called Abba, that she had called Abba stupid. Stupid. And that drove her over the edge. One, she didn't know about it, but two, somebody claiming you said the word stupid, that's what brings us to murder charges? It's unbelievable. But that's their spin that they want to put on it, because they've got this theory that she's the mastermind. And then they stand up here in their closing and they say, everybody who's been charged in this case, they want to point at the other one, point at the other one, point at the other one. No. Who is pointing at these people? The state of Florida. The state of Florida is doing the pointing. They're the ones getting the warrants. They're the ones doing the investigation. They're the ones charging people, deciding who they're going to give bills to and not. That's them pointing the finger. That's not my client. There's no evidence of that. They bring the charges. They prosecute. They get the convictions. They get people sent off to prison. Not us.
Oh, I like that one. So cute.
Oh, very sweet.
Yeah, I didn't want to be out there calling me a liar. There it is. They're hard to find sometimes. They're in the music too. But you got it.
What? We're pointing the blame at the killers for killing them? They proved that those are the people who killed them. That's not us pointing the finger. They actually did it, and it's been proven. And we're distancing ourselves from Charlie Adelson? Let me tell you something. They elicited the testimony about Charlie Adelson over our objection, if you happen to remember that. It came in. Charlie Adelson is not on trial. You may be sitting in that jury room thinking, well, Charlie did it, and it sure looks like Wendy did it. That doesn't have an ounce to do with Donna Adelson doing a thing. Not a single thing. If you think he did it, he's been convicted. He admitted in his testimony that he is the person, although he claims he was extorted, he is the person that took $138,000 out of his refrigerator-size safe that he has at his house with the money exactly like he says he kept it, stapling $100 bills together in stacks of 1,000, staple, 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 staple. He said he took that money out of his safe and he gave it to Catherine McDaniel that night. Whether that's his girlfriend and they're still fooling around on the side, that's between the two of them. That's got nothing to do with my client. He did it. But now they want to say Donna Adelson did it. Pick one. You don't like our theory? That's what they say. You don't like our theory? Oh, well, you like our theory on everybody else. Pick one. If you have prosecuted Charlie Adelson for paying the $138,000 staple, just like their other witnesses in this case said, why are they now saying Donna Adelson provided the money? Oh, wait. Oh, because Catherine McDaniel, who's been sentenced to life, and is telling her 6th story now, has decided she'd like to see her kids someday. So now she's going to come in and provide information that will help the state prosecute an innocent woman so she can go home to her children. That's what that's about. So she claims that this all goes down. Charlie puts the money, Charlie, not Donna, Charlie puts the money stapled just like she knows he does into her trunk. She drives it the next day to Sigfredo Garcia, her baby daddy. He takes it out of the trunk. And a day or two later, she gets hers back. And she says he puts it in her closet. And to this day, she wants you to believe that that money sat in her closet and she spent it along the way. The records that Ms. Holt testified to, showing all her cash deposits, she clearly was doing something with it, right? But to this day, she wants you to believe she has absolutely no idea how much money she had. Never counted it. Really? She must think I was born yesterday. But here's something. She's got this new thing she wants to testify to. That the money was wet, and Charlie told her that Donna had washed it. Her money's wet, that she hasn't touched, that's been somewhere else for these number of days. Well, what did Louis Rivera testify to about his money that he got? He said it was weird. Well, how was it weird? Well, it's stapled in $100 bills, stacks of 1,000. Not a single word about wet. And he got his money before she did. He got it straight from Sigfredo. This washing money wet thing is nonsense. And they've already proven that it was Charlie Adelson's money that was paid through Katie McDaniel to those two killers. Whoops, he's gone. But now it's her fault. And I'm not sure what this is all about. The state standing up saying that the defense has suggested that Harvey is the one that did the e-bite. We haven't said a single word, presented any evidence, or made any argument that Harvey Adelson is the one who created the Evite. Their witness that they called, Wendy Adelson, sat up there and said, what did she say? She probably did it because her mom doesn't know how. And then their other witness, Chris Corbett, Sergeant Corbett, who does all the media and cell phone tower stuff, he sat up there and he said it was clear to him from his research and investigation that my client, Donna Adelson, didn't have a clue how to work that. But she's responsible for sending out an Evite that Wendy says she did, where the names come up with guests who are going to be there that are Wendy Adelson, because she kept that name, and her two sons. So it's Wendy, the name of her two sons, and then Adelson at the end. If that's how it appears, Wendy did it, not my client. And there's more proof of that real quick to come. But the Evite thing is a non-issue. I just can't imagine what that's about. The state has argued that between the time the killers came to Tallahassee in June and the time that they came back in July and actually killed Danny Markell, that Catherine McBanawa said in her testimony that between those two time periods, when she was discussing scenarios with Charlie, he would say he had a call from his mother, step out, have the call, come back in and say, oh, they're stressed. Catherine McBanawa not one single time testified to when that occurred, number one. Number two, if you've heard evidence in this case and paid attention, Charlie Adelson is not a one-woman man. He's got lots of girls. She doesn't know if that was really the mother on the phone. She doesn't know who he was talking to or what they were talking about, but she wants to get out of prison. So she's got information she's willing to share now. Charlie's business. There is a slide that the state had in its presentation this morning that they showed to you that shows that Charlie Adelson owned the dental practice up until 2015. Do you remember seeing that slide? Well, here they are again, ignoring the real evidence. They got a theory and they got to spin it some way, but the evidence from their expert witness, Mary Hall, financial investigator, forensic investigator, Mary Hall, she's up here testifying for them, and she says that Charlie Adelson was the owner of the Adelson Institute until 2020. And yet their slide says, oh, he sold it back to his father in 2015. That's not what the evidence is from their own witness. There was some argument from the state about some things that were in Mrs. Adelson's planner in 2023, around the time that Charlie Adelson was convicted, and they apparently were going to flee the country, take flight to a non-extradition country. And there's a notation in there shortly after Charlie is convicted that says cancel disability insurance. They want you to take what they believe that means as they were canceling their insurance because they were going away and never coming back. Could it be? Those were the words that were used. This is not a could it be it's situation. This is beyond a reasonable doubt. They have nothing other than that notation. Well, could it be that Charlie was convicted and he no longer needed disability insurance because he was going to prison for life? Just as likely. How about this? Could it be? Could it be? And States Exhibit 142 on the front page that they showed you with this little notation. Notify everyone who was invited to the 70th birthday that party is off if that's what HK decides to do. And that's on June the 13th. Could it be, the state says to you, that if the killing had actually taken place the first time the came up, then they'd be canceling the party because Danny would already be dead? What? Does that? Where's the proof of any of it?
Winks, I tried to get on in time to get it, but I got on like middle of the sentence. I had to go back. I fucked it up. Missed it by 30 seconds.
Better luck next time.
What it means?
Yeah.
This is not could it be?
Next time.
And a birthday present. A birthday present, according to the state, for a 70.
But Turtle Boy is in JFK's chat. Yeah. Hanging out, chilling with JFK and Kev.
Maybe he's doing the rounds.
And he's probably just going to hang out with him.
Come on. You gotta manifest good things.
They do a lot of free Turtle Boy content.
We do. It would be so nice to see him here.
Well, whoever is a rat
No, I
who's
said
in
they do.
JFK, but
I'm
he
sorry.
knows you do too, based off of the super chats he gets. So whoever is in both chats needs to put a message to Turtle Boy in there to come check it out.
No.
Gingy.
Diane G.
No, don't do that.
Diane G. No.
Don't do that.
He's too
I'll come
complex
over just to
already.
see Adelson stuff. Every other night it'd be Turtle Boy going.
Yeah, it's fine. We're gonna do it with it. This lady's at least more interesting than the other, but her closing was super long too.
So I don't know the verdict. Do you guys know it? Don't tell me.
Oh wait, replay the verdict then if Janine didn't see it. Nobody in the chat tell her. The verdict's funny.
We will.
Yeah.
I mean, if
some
it's
good
not
viewing.
guilty, like the Lord's gonna set me on fire. It's like that. It's just the craziest thing. Guilty as sin.
Her reaction is what's great.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Whenever Danny wants to play, I mean, we could, if you want, we could just.
Oh yeah, I already closed that window.
This and
But I'll
then.
pull it back up real quick. I'll
Yeah,
find
her
it.
reaction's priceless, and the judge handled it perfectly.
You can barely hear the damn judge, so it's aggravating. You can't hear any of the shit. It's
Yeah,
not
he's got
fair.
no fucks to give where she's concerned. I haven't watched. Yeah, I mean, just what we've watched here, but he's just like he has just been tolerating her.
Yeah. All right, we'll watch this for a minute while I find it. Pull a better version up in here.
Year-old man is that they're going to have Danny Markel killed. Happy birthday. Let's have a party. What? There's no birthday present, according to Rob Adelson. Wendy Adelson, who was at the party and who was involved, and there are emails that tell this, involved in helping get a caterer for the party where the man came and cooked paella out on the balcony for everybody. But that's what Charlie decided to give. But you got to read the worst in every single piece of evidence that they present to you. You have to, because that's the only way you convict, and they want you to convict her. There's no evidence that there was a birthday present to Harvey Adelson to have this man killed. None. That's their theory, and they're still spinning it. And you got to ignore the witnesses that they put up there in order to follow their lead into that jury room and convict my client. Let's talk about Rob Adelson. They brought him in here, and he got up there and he testified on the stand about allegedly all of these things that he claims his mother said. If you were paying attention by the time we got to cross-examination, what did we learn about Rob Adelson? Well, he's a doctor, and he's got little kids, so he's real busy, which is his explanation for why he rarely speaks to his family on the telephone and has, in that time period, only been down to see his family 2 times in a 2.5-year period. And he rarely talks to them on the phone, but somehow Ms. Adelson has made all of these comments. This is a guy with an axe to grind, right? He doesn't have any of this information. He's not talking to them. They got him to come for the birthday party, and what was his testimony? He's a busy guy. He flew in the night before the birthday. He was at the birthday party and got up the next morning, packed his bags, and put him and his wife and his kids on an airplane and left because he was busy. He's not hanging out with his family. He's nowhere to be found. Oh, but you got to believe everything he tells you. A huge percentage of the argument of the state was, well, what did Rob say? What did Rob? Rob doesn't have the knowledge of anybody. He's not here. He lives in Albany, New York, and he's not around these people. But let's use her son, who's clearly estranged from the family, to try and bury her. You're smarter than that. So my client has been charged with the murder of Mr. Markel.
All right, here you go. Hopefully we can hear this one better.
Oh boy.
I mean, she had to know when they came back that fast.
Oh my God, yeah.
Most favorable to the state. The state has met its burden.
I mean, I hadn't been over here the whole time.
Jury as to any review on this matter, the issue is preserved.
And the last issue, Your Honor, we had discussions yesterday concerning a corrections officer at the Leon Detention Center. We were able to get her served. Our investigator was able to, track her down. Ms. Kessler, my paralegal, spoke with her afterwards. The information that she provided is our position that anything Officer Franklin would have to offer is not admissible. And that is why we did not seek to call her prior to arrest day.
Well, the parties can briefly approach.
Look at that red power suit, huh? That was a statement.
No reactions. They didn't make her stand, though, which was kind of odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just before.
Yeah. How long did it take for them to come back with the verdict?
It's a couple
3
hours.
hours.
It was close to the same time as Charlie's was announced at like 6:45, and hers was almost the exact same time. I think it was around 3 hours as well.
Wow. Okay.
And she's like, this might be good.
You think? I mean, her face is screaming the opposite.
I mean, if she's that naive and narcissistic, it's possible that she had herself that convinced.
Yeah. True.
Her attorney
Ah,
seemed pretty
Michelle,
convinced.
Michelle coming in with the info. Look at that. Welcome, Michelle.
Michelle McDonald's.
Now I have competition on facts. Good job, Michelle.
No.
She's your backup.
That's right. It's a team. We're a team here.
Or a gang, or a clique, or a cult, whatever.
Yeah,
All of those things.
been described as all of them,
All of
Yeah.
them.
or whatever that is.
Hey, Michelle.
Literally, it's so fast. If I mess with it, it's gonna.
Whatever the verdict will be in the case, I do not want there to be any gesturing or anyone making any movements that we either agree or disagree.
Welcome, Michelle.
We are going to respect what the jury's decision is.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Thanks for the deep.
Subscription. Thanks for subscribing. If you're
Yeah.
chatting, you're subscribed.
Anyone believes they are not capable of following this instruction, I'd ask you to step outside at this time.
But JFK is killing us. Can't do Karen stuff every time. Or terrible. I will. Can't.
I'm telling you, you should play that video of Jackson crossing that doctor and the specter. Everyone will love that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do it Saturday for
Who?
pregame. That'll
Yeah.
be good.
It is
But it's-
amazing.
Don't be quiet. You're gonna miss this. It's like a blink of an eye. It's over. You can't hear them. It's horrible. You can put your phone in the room and catch more than these microphones are catching. Wow, Prince Lumber, it's not gonna hurt anybody's feelings. I'm cool with it. I just got
Please remain seated when the jurors
do
come in
different
at
stuff.
this particular time.
The camera girl gets up and takes pictures into the gallery during the verdict. I'm wondering if she got Donna's face.
Okay.
Or Harvey's, because I haven't seen Harvey on the video yet.
Right.
After the verdict. Of course it would happen right when I said that. Some blue eyeshadow behind him. That was a correspondent on the back row.
If the jury foreperson could please rise. Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict? If you please can hand the verdict forward to the bailiff.
Baby, you know. You know.
Not by her reaction.
Having reviewed the verdict form, it is in its proper order. At this time, I will publish the verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as to count one of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson, control yourself. Count two, We, the jury, find as follows as the count 2 of the indictment: conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Count 3. We, the jury, find as follows as the count 3 of the indictment: solicitation to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. And it is signed and dated by the foreperson. One moment. Members of the jury, the bailiff will escort you to the jury room.
It's been a while since I've seen them make the jury leave mid-verdict.
Yeah, because she won't stop. I mean, what does it matter? She's crying. Who gives a shit?
They can't go back and change
It's
it. It's been
over.
published, but they just don't want the jury getting upset and the gallery getting upset.
Oh my God.
The judge must have been like, when he read it in his head, like, yes.
That we desired there not be any further outbursts in front of the jury. If you cannot control yourself, I am going to have to determine if you'll be removed from the remainder of this process.
Like, fuck it, I'm going to prison for the rest of my life, bitch.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's a wash. It's a wash.
Do you need a moment to collect
Take
yourself?
me now, take me later.
Yeah, what's an hour going to change?
Yeah, really. Who cares?
Please give her
I'm
tissues
fucked.
if she needs them.
Let's just go on in the bus out here.
Little extra time to wear the sweater, you know? No more sweaters pretty soon.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
When the jurors are brought back into the room, does the defense
They do have
wish
nice
to
scrubs in her prison, though.
hold before
She is wearing pinstripes, though. Good choice, Donna. Good choice.
Yeah. It's like foreshadowing.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Exactly.
That's not what you want to manifest, honey.
I know, right?
is
Like,
not.
that was exactly what I'm thinking. Like, what the fuck? What is wrong with that? Would be like the last, and I'm not manifesting this, but I'm just saying, like, I would wear, like, I don't know, like baby pink or something. Like, I'm an innocent teen.
Right.
I'm not going
Whatever
to jail.
innocent color is.
I'm wearing my party dress. I'm gonna wear my fire red party dress.
Like with sparkles and like high heels.
Exactly. I'm going dancing. I'm out of here. I got this, bitches.
Orange pinstripe.
That would have been too obvious. That would have been too obvious.
You think?
All right, Lolly, anything specific you want to watch in this again? Because I've got this other stuff on Austin Drummond. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I watched some of his hearing today. That was good. I had not heard his call into the news station, so that was all good.
Yeah, I've got a couple of little small recent documentaries. One by law and crime and one by a smaller creator, but I think it's pretty cool. So I think we'll just skip off this Adelson stuff. It's kind of over.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to be here Saturday before TV, though, to watch that Jackson cross. Y'all are going to absolutely love it.
Yeah. Justice was served, so all good. Now, I mean, so before you play, so what do you think the chances are that Wendy is ever charged with anything?
I think her case is
I think,
way
they,
harder.
I think they have enough on Wendy and Harvey to put it in front of a jury. I don't know if they'll get a conviction on either, but I think there's enough probable cause to take a chance. And Georgia knows the case. She's on a roll. Why not?
Yeah, she's already knocked down 5 of them, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Florida, God bless you. Make America Florida. God damn. 3 hours.
All right, this is about Austin Drummond right here.
Good
This is a
work.
quadruple murder in Tennessee. But these are just like little recaps on. Then we'll watch some news stories on. Then we'll watch some hearing. Let's see what it's about. It's short. It's only 8 minutes.
In rural Tennessee, few could predict the horror that would soon unravel. Within hours, 4 bodies tied to that infant were discovered in a remote wooded area. But the true shock came with the identity of the man authorities were looking for, a recently paroled felon with a chilling past and a disturbing prediction: "I'll be out one day." This is the unraveling story of Austin Robert Drummond, a parolee turned fugitive, accused of a calculated family execution that left the state reeling. On July 29, 2025, Tennessee authorities responded to a disturbing report. An infant had been abandoned in a car seat near a church in Tigrit, Dyer County. Hours later, in nearby Tiptonville, Lake County, 4 bodies were discovered in a rural wooded area. The victims, James Michael Wilson, 21, Adriana Williams, 20, Courtney Rose, 38, and Braden Williams, 15, were all members of the same extended family. What began as a welfare check quickly evolved into a manhunt for Austin Robert Drummond, a recently released ex-convict with a violent history. He had served time for armed robbery and was paroled in September 2024, despite warnings from prosecutors about his dangerous potential. Drummond vanished immediately after the murders, sparking a statewide search. Along the way, several associates were arrested for allegedly helping him flee. Authorities believe the murders were targeted, not random, and are now investigating his ties to the victims, the timeline of his movements, and whether others assisted before or after the crime. With law enforcement zeroing in and public tension rising, this case has gripped Tennessee and the nation with horror, outrage, and unanswered questions.
If you're new here, I'd really appreciate your support. Hit that subscribe button and make sure to watch till the end.
On the morning of July 29, 2025, a passerby stumbled upon a child left in a car seat.
Thank God he left the baby, but those were children as well. I mean, how old were one of them? I think was 15, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
think you're right.
The brother was 15. The other two were in their early 20s that had just had the baby, and then the grandmother was only 38.
Oh my God. I mean, babies.
But it gets interesting that he really might not have been the one that did it.
Yeah, so I just put the link to this page in the chat. This guy's pretty good at making these videos, so check him out. Small creator.
Outside a church in Tigrit, Tennessee. The infant appeared unharmed but was left in the searing heat, surrounded by nothing but the silence of a countryside road. The infant wasn't just abandoned, she was a clue. Law enforcement responded, and within hours, the situation escalated when police were led to a crime scene nearly 40 miles away. Hidden in a wooded area in Lake County, 4 bodies were discovered. The dead were family members of the child. It was no coincidence. Drummond's name quickly surfaced, but this wasn't the first time he'd alarmed authorities. Drummond wasn't some obscure drifter. He had a track record with Tennessee law enforcement. In 2014, he was convicted for armed robbery and sentenced to over a decade in prison. By 2020, while still locked up, his name crossed the desk of District Attorney Jody Pickens, who sent a formal letter to the parole board. The letter warned of Drummond's dangerous mentality. Pickens cited a recorded jailhouse phone call between Drummond and his father, in which he allegedly said, "They're going to regret it. I'll be out one day." According to the DA, Drummond held contempt for the justice system and showed no desire for rehabilitation. Despite this, the parole board granted him release in September 2024, 11 months before the murders. Law enforcement believes the 4 victims, Wilson, Williams, Rose, and Braden, were taken to the remote location intentionally. The terrain was rough, forested, and far from public view. It was a place chosen to hide evil, not committed by accident. The motive? That's still unfolding. Early speculation suggests family disputes, personal revenge, or domestic entanglements may have played a role. It was clear, however, that this was not a random act. The victims were executed, and the killer fled, leaving a baby behind like a calling card. Cold, calculated, cruel. After the bodies were found, authorities launched a manhunt for Drummond. His damaged black Audi A3 was found abandoned, and a second vehicle, an older model Ford pickup truck, was later tied to his flight path. Here's where things get strange. Within days, 3 people were arrested on charges of aiding or harboring a fugitive. Tanaka Brown, 27. Giavant Thomas, 26. De'Ara Sanders, 30. Each is accused of assisting Drummond after the murders. Whether out of loyalty, fear, or cash is still unclear. One was allegedly seen removing potential evidence from a location linked to Drummond. Investigators believe Drummond had help, possibly even before the killings. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment rage, it was orchestrated, down to the silence. Drummond's time behind bars wasn't exactly uneventful. Multiple disciplinary actions, outbursts, and troubling interactions were documented. The DA's 2020 letter was part warning, part prophecy. He is not capable of living among society. That warning aged like milk in the sun. Despite these alarms, he was paroled, entered society again, and now 4 people are dead. A baby, likely his own child or connected by blood, was left alone on the roadside, spared, or used as bait. That remains unclear. What we do know, this was preventable. With Drummond still on the run, no trial date has been set. No mugshots, no courtrooms, just arrest warrants and smoke trails. Lake County District Attorney officials have filed multiple charges. 4 counts of first-degree murder. 1 count of aggravated kidnapping. Unlawful possession of a firearm. Tampering with evidence. Possession of a firearm during a dangerous felony. And more pending. But without...
Damn. That's a lot of charges. Man.
So what is
Just
is
let
there
him back
any
out.
relationship? What's the connection between him and?
Well, I don't know yet.
We don't know yet. But they
Watch all
did
these
say
little
something like
videos.
may have been his baby. It's the baby.
No, I just put it in the chat. The baby was the sister of the corrections officer he was dating. The sister
okay.
and the baby's daddy are the 2 20-year-olds that were murdered. So the baby's parents were murdered, and
Right.
this guy was or is dating the sister of the mother, and the girl was a corrections officer at the jail where he was.
That's
And then
crazy.
he was living with them and got along with them fine. Like they even talk about him in the obituaries, like family. It's very strange.
Yeah,
And I'm sure
I got a
Danny's gonna
bunch of
play all the
little.
stuff, so it's gonna get really detailed here shortly.
Okay.
Well, I've got a few videos by small creators, and they're pretty detailed. So
cool.
They're a little bit the same, but each of them got something a little different in it. And then we'll watch the hearing, and we'll see what they really got.
Right.
Drop the links in the chat so we can go subscribe.
Cool.
Yeah, I will as soon as I pop the next video.
Without Drummond in custody,
Yeah.
justice remains a phantom. Judge quotes? Not yet. Defense quotes? Also absent. But rest assured, when he's caught, the opening statements will echo from Tennessee to the rest of the nation. Let's remember them. James Michael Wilson, 21. Adriana Williams, 20. Courtney Rose, 38. Braden Williams, 15. They weren't just collateral. They were siblings, parents, cousins. Their family is now split between mourning and media microphones, pleading for justice. The connection between them and Drummond remains partly sealed by investigators, but locals say there were prior tensions, possibly romantic, possibly territorial. But in a crime of this magnitude, the truth takes time. And Tennessee's grieving families are being asked to wait. Now let's pause, not out of disrespect, but because sometimes in darkness, we dig for a bit of light. One reporter asked if Drummond could be hiding off-grid. A Lake County deputy replied, "Off-grid? The man can't even stay on parole." And when asked if Drummond might try disguising himself, one local said, "That man couldn't hide from a plastic bag if he crawled in it." Sometimes humor is the last breath before grief. But the truth is, this town isn't laughing. They want answers. And they want their peace back. Law enforcement has released updated photos, vehicle details, and is actively pursuing tips. As of early August 2025, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation still considers Drummond armed and dangerous. Multiple agencies, state, local, federal, are on the hunt. Rumors swirl that he's in West Tennessee, others believe he's fled across state lines. Surveillance, social media tips, and digital forensics are now part of the net closing around him. And if he's watching this, which some believe he might be, authorities have a message. You can run, but you will be caught. As of now, Austin Robert Drummond remains at large. 3 individuals have been charged with helping him evade.
Yeah, this was before they called him, so. And this next one is about allegedly speculating. So it should be a little bit different info than this one. Hopefully some of these people will come back because everybody left. Damn.
What you
Hey.
to go to JFK? You think?
Oh, I don't know about where they went. They went somewhere. They go.
Oh, they'll be back. They love us.
They go.
Emily D. Baker's on Runkle. Sorry, I shouldn't be announcing.
Yeah.
It's better here.
Those people that are on right now. Chad, no.
Never heard of them.
If you want to switch, damn it.
we know that the people that are here right now are gonna stay here with us. We got our ride or dies.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thankfully.
Long
We got
gamer.
some ride or
We see
dies.
you.
All right, let's check this one out, see what it says.
This, and I needed to bring it to you guys immediately. So the title of this article is Police Confirm Sightings of Austin Drummond on Camera in Jackson from 2 hours ago. Right there in his hand, he's carrying a firearm.
Yep. Yeah, I see that, Lolly.
Is it a paintball gun?
That's not me talking. That's another Southern.
I didn't think it was her either. I was like, wait.
No, this creator is obviously from down here where we are in the South.
I know my
That's
sister's
hilarious.
voice.
No, that was not Lola. That's the lady who's doing the video.
I love you.
That's a good one.
I do believe that's the cicadas.
Got her frogs in there too.
And
Looks like a
talking about
paintball
bugs.
gun.
Maybe it is me.
I think that's the apartment complex that they swarmed today as well.
Sounds like Lolene.
This was August 3rd, 2025 at 23:20 hours.
Okay, y'all caught me. I have
So what,
my own
that's
channel.
11:20 at night?
Cheating on us, Dan.
I want to know what kind of firearm he's holding because it looks like a paintball gun. Maybe one of you guys can help me out with that in the comment section. Is it a paintball gun or is it a firearm that has like the drum round? Because if it has the drum round, I'm questioning whether he's planning on going out in a blaze of glory.
Don't see a paintball drum on there.
And considering his ties to the Vice Lords and his boy that just got busted with the drone delivering substances to the prison, it very well could be. So we know what he's wearing now. The article reads, Jackson, Tennessee, there have been confirmed sightings of quadruple homicide suspect Austin Drummond, the Jackson Police Department said at 6 p.m. on Monday, today. Drummond was seen on a citizen's camera system in the 700 block of Pipkin Road on Sunday night, police said. Drummond is considered armed and dangerous. The Jackson Police Department released 2 surveillance videos showing Drummond wearing camouflage clothing and a backpack and carrying a rifle. In one video, he attempts to open a door. So maybe it is a rifle. Continuing, a still shot from the surveillance video released by the Jackson Police Department shows Austin Drummond carrying a rifle. Earlier Monday, Union University was placed on lockdown and officers were seen nearby as the search continued for Drummond, the man wanted in a quadruple homicide in West Tennessee. And we covered that today on my live stream. Continuing, several officers were seen blocking streets near Pleasant Plains Extension and Oil Well Road on Monday morning. The location is just a couple of miles from where Drummond's vehicle was found Friday. The Jackson Police Department urged residents in the Pipkin Road and Pleasant Plains Road area to review all doorbell and security camera footage beginning at 10 a.m. on Monday.
Murder suspect Austin Drummond continues across West Tennessee tonight. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the news at 6. I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hurst. It has been almost a week since Drummond allegedly killed 4 people, kidnapped, and then abandoned an infant in Dyer County. Over the last several days, authorities have arrested 3 people: Giovante Thomas, Tanika Brown, and most recently, Dara Sanders for alleged.
And they also got his boy Brandon Powell with the pound of marijuana and the drone and the mesh bags that were used to deliver substances into the prison yard.
Actually helping Drummond after the fact, but Drummond himself is still on the run. WRG's Mike Sirianni joins us now live in Jackson, Tennessee. And Mike, it seems that manhunt remains very active tonight.
Well, good evening, Greg and Stephanie. I tell you that the manhunt operation for today has cleared up, but certainly there are a lot of folks, especially those who have been most impacted by what Drummond is accused of, that were hoping and praying he'd be in custody, but as of last word, he is not. That's why throughout most of this day, there was a very heavy law enforcement presence here in North Jackson.
Everybody just wants this guy caught. It's scary. Very.
And I have no doubt that it's scary. As we saw, the police had the woods surrounded. We also got the document from law enforcement stating that there is a high probability that Austin Drummond left the state of Tennessee. And we talked about that document today in my live stream. If you want it, it's on my Patreon.
Scary. Monday morning, Ginger Riggs watches another all-hands-on-deck search operation for quadruple murder fugitive Austin Drummond.
It's terrible, and I just hope they arrest him before anyone else is hurt.
This search very close to Union University, forced to go on lockdown, and about 2 miles from where Drummond's vehicle was recovered Friday.
We were over here anyway and then heard what was going on, and I have a grandson that lives in the apartment complex behind here, which is where a lot of action's going on.
That complex, the Cherry Grove Apartments, sits next to Union University. Law enforcement searching the complex and every vehicle that enters.
So we saw that too today on our live stream. They were searching the back of every vehicle that came in and out of the complex. I think they had him surrounded, and I'm hoping that we hear something later tonight about him being apprehended.
Complex also where 23-year-old Diara Sanders, an associate of Drummond, was reportedly arrested Monday. The third.
I mean, are they thinking that somebody he knows let him get in the trunk, or he at gunpoint said, "Put me in the trunk"?
I think they're being cautious either way.
Yeah, but once you put him in the trunk, couldn't you just run off?
Yeah, the second somebody pulled me over and I had someone in my trunk that I didn't want, I would be like running and letting them know.
I know, but what I'm saying is once you shut the trunk with them in it, just go away from the car.
Yeah, but they do have the latches in there that you can let yourself out, but
Dumb criminals.
So, other than like the relationship and the surveillance video, what else is tying him to? Because there's comments that
all they have said is his cell phone was in the area.
Okay,
is what came out at the thing today. So, like I said, Bob and Allie are covering it in the morning. She was supposed to do it this afternoon and didn't realize how long the hearing was, but. It's very interesting because once he's in jail, he calls into a radio station and he says a whole lot of stuff that makes you start wondering what's true and what's not.
Really?
I think I loaded that video in there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
okay. That makes clear for us. Because there's some comments, because Noodles Mama commented, and then Laurleen, were you the one on panel that said we don't even know if he's the guy? So
yeah, but they were talking about something else in Massachusetts earlier. They were talking about something being on lockdown in Massachusetts too, though.
What's up?
Oh, and Lowell?
Yeah, and something about an Asian with a paintball gun or something.
Yeah.
There was like a video of someone walking around campus with a gun. Nothing happened, but
right. Yeah, Gingy posted that. I think it was Gingy, right? I sent it to my son. Yeah, but that was the Lowell campus. Lowell. When miss.
Person charged with accessory after the fact to first-degree murder.
They were saying his connection with that female was in this apartment complex.
Oh, wow.
The search for Drummond in this area adding to the level of anxiety felt by many in Jackson.
Now, for him to be beside Union, it's really beside Union University. So he might have felt like he could blend. There's some trails in there, so he might have felt like he could blend in there. But anyway, they are all on lockdown and they're all ready. So hopefully the police stay safe and hopefully he's caught.
And as I mentioned earlier, this field behind me over there by that church, earlier today it was the gathering place, the focal point for law enforcement, and now you can see there are just several THP cars.
All right, let's get to the next one. This is Unveiling the Crown, 27 subscribers. I keep finding these pages that don't have a lot of subs. So the videos are good.
I know
But not
Annalise did it when covered it when he first got arrested, and it was pretty informative. And I've seen a couple of
bet.
small ones too.
Yeah, Annie Elise, remember she did the breakdown of the Adelsons. That was really good. Right? Wasn't it? Didn't isn't
She's
that
got a large team of people helping her. She can do a new case every day.
Yeah, no shit. Let's watch this short local news thing about the campus being shut.
Search for Austin Drummond continues at this hour in Jackson, Tennessee, as the man wanted for 4 murders in Lake County last week is still on the run. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Drummond is charged with the murder of 4 family members last week in Lake County. WREG's Mike Sirianni is live in Jackson tonight, where the latest search is underway for him. Mike?
Was that guy's like everybody's on-site reporter? I guess he's.
Hey, good afternoon to you, Stephanie and Greg. I am on Oil Well Road in Jackson, not very far from Union University. In this field behind me is where law enforcement officers have been staging today in the continuing search for Austin Drummond. Here's some video from earlier today. A wide search area getting attention from a variety of law enforcement agencies. This location just a couple of miles from where Drummond's vehicle was found Friday. Union University was on lockdown, as well as a few schools in this immediate area. The search for Drummond intensifying, as now 3 persons have been charged in connection to the 4 murders in Lake County. Over the weekend, 2 men were charged with accessory after the fact. And today, a Jackson woman has also been charged with accessory after the fact. For people living in Jackson, just knowing Drummond still could be in the area is frightening.
Now, for him to be beside Union, it's really beside Union.
I guess they just stole the same thing we just watched from the other. All right, so let's get to the other.
Rural Tennessee. This tragedy unfolded on the 29th of July. I'm taking you into the chilling case of Austin Drummond, the convicted felon accused of executing 4 members of the same family and abandoning a baby in rural Tennessee. This tragedy unfolded on the 29th of July, 2025, in the quiet countryside of Lake County, Tennessee, and led to a 7-day manhunt across the state. The story begins with an abandoned baby found on a stranger's porch, and unravels into a calculated massacre involving a young mother, her partner, her teenage brother, and their own mother. Our main subject is Austin Drummond, a recently released inmate with a violent record, suspected gang ties, and a disturbing history of threats from behind prison walls. As we follow this case, we'll uncover not only the horrific crime, but also the deep cracks in a justice system that may have helped shape the killer. Let's uncover this entire story together. If this is your first time watching True Crime Vault, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you never miss a single case. Porch to retrieve the newspaper, only to find an infant, still strapped in a car seat.
beautiful baby?
Shivering in the morning dew. No note, no car, no sign of anyone else. Just the wide-eyed stare of a baby girl too young to understand the nightmare that had just begun. Police were called immediately.
Let's duel it out with 2 videos from 2 small creators.
Woohoo, nice.
Might as well as unveiling the crime. And the other one is True Crime Vault.
Cool.
418 subs. That's good.
Nice.
That's good stuff. This other one has 27. Yeah, 27.
Awesome. Supporting small channels, building, growing channels. Let's say
Plus,
that.
they're less likely to say anything about you playing your videos.
Except, thank you.
Yeah.
It begins
You're
with
welcome.
the smallest, most innocent of sounds, a baby's cry. But this cry isn't heard in a warm nursery. It's coming from the cold, damp grass of a stranger's yard in rural Tennessee.
The
The
other said the
infant,
extreme heat.
impossibly small, is alone. A life just beginning, found abandoned at the start of a nightmare. Because just miles away, the reason for this abandonment lies in a house steeped in silence and blood. 4 bodies. A mother, a father, a grandmother, and an uncle. An entire family erased. The man at the center of this storm is Austin Robert Drummond, a 28-year-old with a rap sheet as long as his arm, a man already on bail for attempted murder inside a prison. Yet in a call from behind bars, this same man, accused of wiping out a generation, would utter a sentence that defies all logic. They were like family to me. How does a man go from family to alleged executioner?
Did he use his AI reading voice as Bane from Batman? Sounds like Bane, doesn't it?
Oh, no. You have to
Like,
do the
he's
mouth
not
up.
real angry at the moment, you know. You know, they use that Bane voice for all the damn motivational speaking shit on TikTok.
I love when it Jason, how do you say that guy? Jason Sadisky, whatever, when he does Bane. It's hilarious.
I like this voice.
This case isn't just about the brutal act of murder. It's a story that forces us to confront the chilling contradictions of a killer's heart and a justice system that may have let a monster walk free one last time. Welcome to Unveiling the Crime. Join us as we unravel the story of Austin Drummond. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the human stories behind the headlines. Every life is a story of branching paths, of moments where a single choice can define a future. For Austin Drummond, the path to a normal life, a career, a family, a quiet existence, seemed to vanish long before the events of July 2025. He wasn't born a monster. He was forged into one by a series of choices and circumstances that sent him spiraling down a violent trajectory. The first significant break came in 2013. At an age when most are building their futures, Drummond was handed a 10-year sentence for armed robbery. The clang of that prison door marked the end of his youth and the beginning of his education.
Let's go back to this one now. That one got a little too weird.
But what began as a welfare check escalated within hours into something far more sinister. 45 minutes north, 4 bodies were found in a quiet home in Lake County. All shot, all family. The baby's parents, her grandmother, her teenage uncle. A massacre hidden behind drawn curtains until a child left behind opened the door to it all. The suspect? A recently released felon named Austin Drummond, armed, dangerous, and already gone. Surveillance footage soon surfaced. A man in camouflage, stalking the edge of a church at night, with a rifle in his hands and a high-capacity drum magazine strapped to it. He didn't knock. He didn't ask for help. He just tried the door. For 7 days, Drummond vanished into the woods of West Tennessee. The FBI, U.S. Marshals, and state authorities issued manhunts, shelter-in-place alerts, and surveillance drones. But he remained invisible until a sharp-eyed worker spotted something moving among the trees and called it in. Moments later, Drummond was in handcuffs. What made a man abandon a baby and allegedly execute her entire family? What happened behind those walls? And what demons did Drummond bring with him from prison? There are rumors of a gang connection, a history of threats, and a promise he once made from behind bars. I'll be out one day. They're going to regret it. Now he's out, and 4 people are dead. But the question remains, what really happened that morning in Lake County? And why did only 1 soul survive? Before he became the target of a statewide manhunt, Austin Robert Drummond was just another name in a correctional file buried deep within the system. Born in Providence, Rhode Island, Drummond's path was anything but straight. By his late teens, he had relocated to Jackson, Tennessee, where trouble seemed to follow him, or perhaps he chased it. At just 16, Drummond was arrested for an armed robbery at a convenience store. He pointed a pistol at the clerk's face and stole a meager $44. The act may have seemed amateurish, but the intent was crystal clear. Violence came easy to him. That single act earned him more than a decade behind bars. But prison didn't change him. It shaped him. During his 10-year sentence, Drummond accumulated 25 disciplinary infractions. Infractions included drug possession, defying orders, and most chillingly, being caught with a deadly weapon. He was known for issuing threats, including one caught on a monitored phone call. "They'll regret this. I'll be out one day." He was not bluffing. Inside the prison system, Drummond reportedly affiliated himself with the Vice Lords, a powerful Chicago-based gang. It was unusual. He was white, a rare trait in the predominantly black gang, but insiders speculate he sought protection. Once inside, survival often comes at the cost of loyalty. Whether he truly embraced the gang's ideology or simply wore its label for safety, no one knows. But what's clear is that prison didn't reform him. It hardened him. When he was finally released in September 2024, Drummond emerged into a world that hadn't waited for him. He was unemployed, untethered, and carrying the weight of unfinished grudges. Not long after, he was again facing charges, this time for attempted murder during incarceration. But somehow, he was granted bond, $30,000. That's all it took for a man.
Calypso, this is Austin Drummond. I'm not muting when I type. Get over it.
With a violent past to walk free. Then came Adriana Williams. Adriana, just 20, was reportedly Drummond's girlfriend. She lived in Lake County with her extended family, her mother Courtney, her brother Braden, her partner Matthew Wilson, and her infant daughter. What began as a relationship soon turned toxic. Neighbors noted yelling, erratic behavior, and unannounced visits from Drummond. Some say he never truly left the prison mindset. And maybe that's the key. Maybe Drummond didn't see Adriana's home as a place of peace, but as a battlefield. A place where respect had to be enforced, control asserted. Maybe, to him, they weren't people. They were obstacles, witnesses, reminders of his failure to adapt. No one knows what triggered him that morning. But for someone like Drummond, shaped by rage, rejection, and survival perhaps, the question isn't why it happened. Perhaps the real question is, why didn't it happen sooner? The house on Cherry Valley Road was eerily still when officers arrived. No barking dogs, no sounds of life. Just the wind shifting through the overgrown grass outside and the faint creak of the screen door swaying on its hinges. The 911 call that morning had been about an abandoned baby, but it would soon unravel a horror no one was prepared to see. Inside, the scene was catastrophic. 4 bodies, 4 victims, each with fatal gunshot wounds. Their lives extinguished in what investigators would later describe as a methodical execution. Matthew Wilson, 21, was found near the front of the home, just feet from the doorway. 1 gunshot to the chest, another to the head. Blood pooled beneath him. Adriana Williams, just 20, lay sprawled on the living room carpet, still clutching her phone, her last messages never sent. 1 shot through the neck, clean and direct. In the hallway, Courtney Rose, 38, the matriarch of the family, was found slumped against the wall. Multiple rounds had struck her torso. She had tried to run. Her hand, bloodied, rested on the doorknob to a closet, perhaps trying to hide. She didn't make it. Braden Williams, just 15 years old, was discovered last. He was in his bedroom, beneath a collapsed bookshelf. 1 bullet to the heart. His Xbox controller still beside him. The game paused. A child, executed. It was carnage, but it wasn't chaos. The house showed no signs of struggle.
Xbox controller still in his hand.
Oh my god, it's horrific. It
Yeah,
just
I actually heard all 4 bodies were found in the woods,
horrific.
isolated. This is the first time I've heard anything about one of them being inside.
Awful.
And then the thing with the baby is the baby was driven 40 miles away from the crime scene in a car seat, like strapped and everything, and
Right.
left in the vicinity of homes, and the person who left honked to get their attention to come out before
Right.
leaving. So
Weird.
it's very strange. But
Yeah.
I had not heard anything about the boy being inside till now. I've heard all 4 were out in the woods.
Oh my god.
We'll figure it out by the time we get to the hearing.
Baby. He's a baby, 15-year-old little boy playing his Xbox. Oh.
No overturned furniture, No forced entry, no screaming neighbors, no gunshots reported. Whoever did this knew the layout, knew where each victim would be, knew how to move quietly and kill with precision. The baby just 7 months old was missing. That single haunting absence sent officers into panic. A reverse 911 alert went out. Local law enforcement launched door-to-door searches, fearing the child had been abducted or killed. But later that same morning, a homeowner 45 miles away in Dyer County discovered a car seat placed neatly on their front porch. Inside, the child, alive, dazed, strapped in safely, as if dropped off by someone who still believed in a line they wouldn't cross. It was the only trace of humanity left in that crime, said one detective on the case. Everything else was pure intent to kill. Forensics combed through the house and quickly made a chilling discovery. No shell casings. The killer had picked them up. That meant gloves, planning, control. It wasn't rage, it was resolve. Investigators believe the murders occurred in the early morning hours, likely before sunrise. Neighbors reported nothing unusual. No sounds, no headlights, only silence. That kind of silence can only come from someone the victims knew. Austin Drummond had ties to the house. He had visited many times before, slept there, argued there, loved there, and now allegedly he had killed there. But what was the motive? Authorities haven't disclosed specifics, but rumors swirl that Adriana tried to end the relationship, that Braden confronted him, that Matthew told him to leave, that Courtney refused to let him see the baby. All unconfirmed, but something inside Drummond snapped, and it wasn't sudden. 2 days before the murders, Drummond had been spotted in camouflage, armed with a rifle and high-capacity drum magazine. Surveillance footage from a church camera showed him trying doors, moving like a man rehearsing violence. This wasn't a spontaneous explosion, the lead investigator later said. This was premeditated, tactical. Someone who had made peace with what they were going to do. He didn't steal anything. He didn't ransack the house. He didn't even rush. Based on body positions and timestamps from nearby surveillance footage, investigators believe he spent nearly 20 minutes inside that house. 20 minutes. 4 people shot. 1 child taken. Then gone into the trees. And for 7 days, he vanished. Leaving behind not just death, but fear. For the family. For the town. For anyone who ever opened their door to the wrong man. The moment officers realized Austin Drummond was missing, the tone of the investigation.
Yeah, it seems a little weird.
Yeah, I've heard several things in here that I've never heard before, so I'm really questioning how factual this is.
Let's listen to the one new Donna sent me. Vinny Politan breaks it down, or we can just watch it here. Whichever one you want.
You know, if Vinny broke it down, it's going to have mainly facts. I mean, he's not going to go on his show and say stuff that people aren't going to talk out against.
Or what they know so far, right? So, when did this happen? A few weeks old, right?
July 29th is when they found the baby. They found the baby first before even knowing about the other murders, was my understanding. Like
Is that Steve that joined the Discord? How's it?
Oh, our friend Steve. Yay.
I don't know if that's him or not.
If it is, he's wanting to send you a corn video and a Chuck E. Cheese video. So he's got to put them in Discord because I'm interested.
You came to the right place, Steve.
So we'll listen to Vinny break it down.
Cool.
How fast can we play Vinny? 1.5.
Yeah, but if you play him too fast, brother, you're not going to get the full Vinny. I mean, you know.
We'll see if it's too
the
fast.
dramatic pauses won't have their effect.
Yeah, they'll be shorter and less dramatic.
He is. I love his dramatics.
I'll slow it down.
Austin Drummond is accused of unleashing a night of horror in rural Tennessee that left 4 people dead and an entire community gripped with fear. Authorities say Drummond went on a violent rampage, killing multiple family members in cold blood before vanishing into the night. The manhunt that followed spanned days, with heavily armed officers scouring the woods, the fields, and back roads, warning residents to lock their doors. In the chaos, a baby was spared, a haunting detail that raised even more questions about motive and mercy. Drummond's capture brought a tense end to the search, but not to the nightmare. Prosecutors say the evidence paints a picture of a calculated brutality. Now, as the charges mount, the families of the victims are left to face a devastating truth. The killer they once knew came from within their own circle. This case will test justice and the community's soul.
Chilling case, absolutely chilling. But there's this whole twist with the baby, and everyone is looking at this and trying to understand what happened here. That's what we're going to do during this program, is really dive into the details of all of this and try to answer some of those questions. Now, Kim Hamill, the mother of the victim, James Wilson, spoke with WREG after a hearing and spoke about the severity of this crime.
That's what I think people understand. He took them all. It's not just the loss of our son. I know. It's the loss of our daughter-in-law, of Braden, of everybody, of Courtney. It's a whole family gone. You know, it's unbelievable. So we're going to be here every chance we get. We're going to be right here for our son because he cannot be here.
Those words, he took.
Mary, did you meet Vinny when we were at the courthouse?
3 weeks ago, Lolly.
No, I didn't technically meet him. I just stood near him, but you were with me.
Yeah.
When
Paul, I didn't
Nan
know.
was trying to get his attention.
Who was?
Nan?
Oh. That was great.
And then he went live.
Oh, yeah. Does anybody know who the Cosip is in Discord?
That was great.
Good times.
That was so cool meeting Nan and Vinny. Didn't
I've never seen that name.
Our friends like kind of mess with Vinny a little bit?
This is like 45 minutes.
Oh, yes.
So that's going to be the whole show unless you just want to watch this hearing.
Look at that pause.
Well, we can watch some of this.
Vinny,
Do you want me to try to find the video where he called into the news station from jail?
Yeah, I found that one. We'll play that too. Well, yeah,
quite
definitely play that. We'll play some of this. I like Benny.
I like him.
Them all. He took them all. A lot of times when a victim shows up at a hearing, they're talking about, their specific loss of one person and the rest of the family's trying to figure out how to move to the next step. But here, it's alleged that he took them all. You're talking about 4 people. Brings us to the first question in our investigation. Why would Austin Drummond wipe out a whole family? What's going on with this? Here to unpack some of this and help us through, Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas. Cody, great to see you. Answering this question, why? I think first we've got to understand any connection here between this alleged mass murderer and his victims. What do we know?
Well, Vinny, what do we know? We know that Austin Drummond did know these people. He knew these 4 family members, but how did he know this collection of people? So Vinny, what I want to do is break down in a family tree the victims in relation to that surviving baby. So let's take a look at that here now. Of course, we have the parents, Adriana Williams, the mother of the child. She was only 20 years old, and James Wilson, the father of the young infant, only 21 years old. Now, on Adriana's side of the family, the maternal side of the family, you have grandma, Courtney Rose. She's 38 years old, and then you have the maternal uncle who was also murdered, Braden Williams. He was only 15. Now, Vinny, here's where it gets interesting. We have Courtney Rose's sister. Her name and age were not released or have not been released yet. She was in a relationship with Austin Drummond. That's where he factors into all of this in that family tree. If it advances a little bit, you can see how it goes there to give the viewers a little bit more of an understanding. Now, we do know that Drummond spent 11 years in prison at the Northwest Correctional Complex in Tiptonville, Tennessee. Guess who was also a correctional officer at the Northwest Correctional Complex from October of 2023 to October of 2024? Courtney Rose's sister, that same girlfriend. Now, she was fired due to job abandonment, according to the Tennessee Department of Corrections. And also, Vinny, police say where Austin Drummond was found and ultimately arrested in Jackson, Tennessee, that was near where this girlfriend, Courtney Rose's sister, also lived. Now, Vinny, what we also have here, just speaking of locations, we have a map of the prison where Austin was in relation to where the 4 bodies were found. Of course, the prison is at Northwest Correctional Facility in Tiptonville in the northwest corner of Tennessee. You see it there. Now, these bodies were found nearby on Carrington Road in Tiptonville. And Vinny, that was only 1.6 miles away. So Vinny, ultimately, we know at the very least there was some relation here between Austin Drummond and this family, but we still don't know why he did this, an exact motive. Here's what police had to say about a motive. Take a listen.
There was a familial relationship between the suspect and the family. And at this point, on a working motive, we are unable to speak about that. Still all part of the investigative process at this time.
So Vinny, you heard it there. Law enforcement say a motive is still unclear, so we'll have to wait as this investigation unfolds.
Yeah, and I think that connection so crucial, right? And it's a strange connection.
Absolutely, yeah.
The defendant and his girlfriend connected to this correctional facility just 1.6 miles from all this happened. She's connected to the family. They know him. Cody, thanks so much. I know you're going to stick around. Let's bring in our guest to help answer this question and dive a little deeper. Host of the Outlier podcast and Pop Crime TV, reporter Lauren Conlin. And joining us on the phone tonight, private investigator and founder of Victim News Online, Erica Moore. She's also the host of the all-new podcast, The Delphi Dirt. You absolutely want to download that one. Okay, Lauren Conlin, let me begin with you. Trying to understand why, to me, I think we have to look at the connection and the connection that Cody pointed out. So this was not random. This was not stranger on stranger crime. These are people who knew each other, and there's something in those relationships, I think.
Absolutely, Vinny. But what we know right now is essentially that Austin Drummond is a very sick and disturbed individual. And my understanding, again, we are in the very early stages of the investigation, but drugs most definitely are playing some kind of a role here. Austin Drummond does have a history with drugs. He was actually pulled over by police when he was transferring drugs from a van. He was intending to go to a prison to transfer these drugs. And when he was pulled over, this was back in June, he actually tossed some things out the window. And this is per a local affiliate in Tennessee. They were reporting on this. And additionally, they also believed that they were doing these drone drug drops. So they were using drones. And I have to wonder, was one of the victims involved in this somehow and maybe assisting? And this is not me shaming them at all, but just the connection between Courtney Rose and her sister and Austin, it got me thinking.
Erica Morse, it seems like there's a lot to dive into here, right? You've got a defendant who is connected to a woman who was part of the correctional facility, but more importantly, the sister of one of the victims here. There's absolutely, these are people who know each other, might have something in the relationship, whether it's a business relationship or personal. It seems like you should be able to uncover the why of it here.
Well, let's first say how critical the why is to uncover. And let's not minimize that. Motive is key in this entire thing because I'm afraid that he's not.
I mean, there is a lot going on in this. Like the prison drone deliveries and drug racket.
Yeah, wait till you hear his call. It gets way even, like, he makes some accusations that makes it like a movie.
Oh, boy.
And Bob and
Noodles'
Allie were
mom is
saying,
probably hanging out with us. Nice.
Bob and Allie were saying the accusations that he's making, they have heard stuff like that happen before, that it's not that far-fetched.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she said, Noodles' mom said that there's only a few people at the first of this. Then we'll watch the call. So
I'm gonna have to go in about 15 minutes for homework, but I'll still be here if I have to leave before you're done.
Yeah, we're only going to do 30 more minutes.
A one-man band.
Say it again.
No, that was not Lauleen.
On this one, Vinny.
Not even Southern.
There are too many variables. I kind of just hear Delphi going on in my head, and it's not the only case that stands out. But we've got this correctional officer angle. We have 4 victims, which tells me that he isolated everyone, or he isolated that baby from everyone, and that scares the daylights out of me because I now have to wonder why that baby survived. Was there a premeditated effort? Was there another crime intended here? Was that a random drop-off where this baby ended up, or was this a premeditated? Was this a potential drop to sell a child? Was this a trade? There are all of these other elements. And then when you look into his history of gang activity, which makes no sense, literally, it makes no sense. Even with his imprisonment history, it doesn't make sense for him to be a vice lord. So me being a Chicagoland girl, Northwest Indiana, born and raised, just having worked at Case where we have correctional corruption, I'm not sure he's a one-man band here, and I'm asking a lot of deeper questions.
Yeah, Lauren, that's potentially the other shoe to drop in all this is understanding why and understanding if there is more to it, to this mass murder. We know 3 other people were arrested, and it seems they were arrested for things happening accessory after the fact in perhaps helping him stay away from police. But I think Eric is onto something here. There is much more to the story, perhaps more people involved.
Yeah, I mean, anything is possible at this point. Like I said, it's so early, but I think that Austin Drummond, because he is a career criminal, he knows he's going back to prison at some point, and he doesn't care. I feel like he is very comfortable in prison. He gets 3 meals a day. He has a nice cot to sleep on. And more importantly, Vinny, I think that him leaving this sweet baby alive, I don't think in my opinion, I think it's more of maybe him losing the reputation he has in prison. Because again, I think he knows he's going to go back, and nobody likes a baby killer at all. I think that he would be completely isolated if he killed a baby. So, there you go. He can say, oh, look what I did. I murked 4 people, but I left the baby. It's gross.
I think that's a very, very significant point. very significant. If you know you're going back in, you don't want to be going back in, known as the baby killer. Lauren Conlin, Erica Moore sticking around. Coming up next, how was Austin Drummond caught?
Yeah, it's pretty good info. This is what Lynn just sent me, the phone call.
I'm an innocent man, but I'm not guilty of what they charged me with.
He is accused of murdering 4 people, but in an exclusive interview, Austin Drummond says he's innocent. Good evening. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. Drummond spoke to News Channel 5 from jail, saying he did not commit the crimes that he is charged with. Those crimes, the shocking murders of 4 family members, Adriana Williams, James Wilson, Courtney Rose, and Braden Williams. They were all found dead in Lake County last month. Drummond was named as the suspect and caught about a week later in Jackson.
As Nick Barris tells us, Drummond claims to have been working as a confidential informant for law enforcement.
Austin Drummond is locked up without bond in the Obion County Jail. He's charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. A source gave him my cell phone number, and he called us to talk about his case.
I'm innocent of what I'm charged with, yes, sir. I'm not an innocent man, but I'm not guilty of what they charged me with.
Of course, you would expect a man potentially facing the death penalty to say that.
I often take a polygraph.
The 28-year-old Drummond admits to a long criminal record dating back to his teenage years and was a one-time member of the Vice Lords gang. But he says he did not kill Adriana Williams, Braden Williams, Matthew James Wilson, or Courtney Rose, whose bodies were all found in Lake County on July 29th.
I had no reason to hurt these people. They were my girlfriend's family who had became my family. I took Adriana to the hospital to have her baby. I helped teach Braden to drive. Matthew was like a little brother to me, man.
Drummond was on the run for several days after the murders. Locals in Northwest Tennessee feared a killer was on the loose, and it made national headlines. If Drummond didn't murder the 4 victims, then why did he run?
I did not handle the situation right by running, but I was afraid.
And here's why. Drummond says after another arrest earlier this year, he cut a deal with the Lake County District Attorney, FBI, and ATF to work as a confidential informant.
During my time working for them, I helped uncover drug dealers selling multiple kilos at a time of cocaine, also drug traffickers delivering pounds of meth. We identified dirty law enforcement and correctional personnel and tapped Vice Lord leadership phones.
Drummond says he learned that his cover had been blown the day of the killings, and that is why he ran.
I was afraid because I knew bad things happened. And I was afraid that because I was an informant, things would go wrong. Things would happen to me.
We did ask the district attorney about Drummond's claim that he was working as a confidential informant. The DA said he could not comment at this time. We should learn much more about the case against Drummond at a preliminary hearing that's scheduled for early September.
Crazy. This is just, it keeps getting.
It's crazy.
It is. It's crazy.
And
So
they said today that he might have been actually investigating or informing on the family that ended up getting killed.
holy shit.
Yeah, and then it makes it even stranger with the 3 people who got arrested for aiding and abetting after the fact. So I'm not saying he didn't do it, but it's like really interesting. I think there's something going on.
It's not yeah, it's complicated. It's not straightforward. Hey, little miss, happy that
What's
you're
up,
back.
little miss?
Woo! Hi, little
Little
miss.
miss is here. You know what that means.
Oh boy.
So glad when she comes to visit so we can pull out the old hits.
Classic. That is classic.
That's a beginner's edition.
That's it. It's 1.0.
But we're getting that rat. We're getting that fat rat out of that damn video.
Damn
As
it.
soon as we get some super chats and
We're gonna
memberships,
We're gonna
getting that little
celebrate.
fat rat out of there. getting him out of there. All right, let's see
We're
what
almost
happens.
there. Close.
Obviously, we can't watch it. Let's see. Just going through the crap. Okay. Let's see what happens. Really
I know they have
fast.
4 people testify, so there's like a little bit at the beginning you can fast forward through.
I need to hear the judge speak. Oh, look what we got here. You see it?
Oh my God.
Ponytail. Another ponytail.
Shades of Small Seagal. Is he
No,
small?
I mean, he's originally from Rhode Island. Maybe Seagal has practices
way.
around there.
Oh
No
my
way.
God.
But we do have another
Even-
ponytail lawyer.
Excited.
Who else had the ponytail? Which case was that? Remember?
Small
He was
Seagal.
cute. Not this. It was not small. He was mid-sized Seagal.
It's one we watched for like a day.
Yeah.
Super guilty guy.
Oh, Wallenberger? Was that the one?
Casitas or something like that.
The one that his wife's body was found. That
Yes.
was found not guilty.
Appreciate the
Oh my
folks from
God.
our law enforcement who are here
No
today,
way.
providing security for the building. Appreciate each of you and your efforts have not gone unnoticed. I want to say that first and foremost. Second off, I want to just make aware that we are set for today for preliminary hearing in the matter of Mr. Austin Robert Drummond on the 4 counts that he had. I'm sorry, on the 5 counts that he has before the court, the 5 cases with 2 counts each. I want to take this time just to go over with everyone. We're going to have some statements and some evidence that may be entered today that may be difficult to hear, may be upsetting to hear. If at any time you feel that you cannot sit and listen to the proceedings, I would ask that you step outside. If anyone does have to step outside, that's fine. I don't mind that. If a disruption is made, then you will be removed from the courtroom. And if further disruptions are made, the court has the right to hold you in contempt of court, or the sheriff's office has the right to issue charges for disorderly conduct. I don't want to see that happen, and I don't think that we're going to have that happen. But I just have to give everybody that notice prior to this hearing starting. Mr. Goodwin, good afternoon, sir. General Hayes, good afternoon. Mr. Huffman, Mr. Mason, good afternoon. Mr. Drummond, good afternoon, sir. What are we proceeding on first? Because I know there's a motion before the court, and also we have a preliminary hearing. So how do we want to take that up? Does the state have its list of who it intends to call today during preliminary?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
The state intends to call Officer Corey Hussey, Deputy Hunter Brady, Special Agent Justin Tubbs, Special Agent Scott Lawson, and Brandon Weaver, Officer Weaver.
Anyone else, General?
No.
Is anyone from the defense going to be called for as a witness? Okay. Folks, if your name has been called, and I don't know all of you who they just called out, I know some of them, but for those of you whose name was just called, you will have to step outside the courtroom while the others are testifying. Rule 615 of the Tennessee Rules of Evidence says that witnesses must be sequestered for that purpose. You cannot discuss the case with one another prior to your testimony. Who's the first witness for the state going to be? Okay, Officer Hussey. Everyone else who was called as a witness would step out at this time, and when we are ready for your testimony, we will have a deputy come outside to retrieve you at that time.
Yeah, Special Agent Tubbs is going to testify.
Yes. The court will take note that Special Agent Tubbs is the prosecuting witness designated by the state of Tennessee. Mr. Huffman, in general, I know y'all's normally my routine is in preliminaries. I'm happy to hear from either party on any opening, but if everybody wants to just proceed to direct examination, I'm fine either way. I just wanted to kind of get the lay of the land from y'all. We'll proceed then to direct examination. I do want to make sure I have officially put this on the record. We are hearing the matter. I should have done that first. I apologize. We are hearing the matter of State of Tennessee versus Austin Robert Drummond in cases number 25 CR 48067, 48068, 48069, and 48071. 25 CR being those documents.
It'd be my guess that they want some high-level gang information, and that he probably lied to them that he had. So, Vice Lords is a big gang. So, if you give somebody up, which would be a dangerous thing, as much as you go in and out of prison, it would be really dangerous to piss off one of those gangs, because your next little stint in prison will be your
And they
last.
talked about finding corrupt cops who were also involved with smuggling the drugs into the jails.
Yep. That'll get them to ratting.
Right.
Oddly enough,
Bad
being a
kind.
rat.
The bad kinds, not the good kind.
The bad kind. The bad rats.
Good rats like us.
That's right.
Officer Hussey. You please come to the witness stand, sir. If you would, Ms. Jessica is going to place you under oath at this time. Thank you, sir. And Officer Hussey, be sure if you would speak into the microphone. We've had these things kind of messed with and fixed in a much better
Ellie
way. And I
said this
appreciate
looked
our
like a
IT folks for
junior
that. But,
Hitler.
just be sure to speak into the microphone clearly because we are recording. Okay, thank you.
All right. Would you state your name, please? Corey Hussey. And where do you work?
So we had to make it to Tennessee before the judge, well, from Bev all the way down to Tennessee before another judge really cared if you talked into the microphone.
You got multiple camera angles, and you got better
It's
sound.
nice. The Tennessee rolling.
You got that Tennessee case with the sheriff shooting the judge too, so maybe it'll be a good court.
Give me 1 second. I want to make sure that didn't totally
No,
kill us here.
it wasn't. We watched that. It was shit.
Sorry about
By the time it gets to trial.
All right.
Yeah, they better get their shit
You tell
together.
me again who you work for.
I'm a park ranger for Tennessee State Park.
Okay. And how long have you had that position?
I took this position on June 28th.
June 28th.
2025.
I'm sorry.
2025.
Okay, June 28th, 2025. Do you recall if you were working on the day of July 29th of 2025?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And as part of your job, do you routinely patrol state parks and specifically around River Lake area?
Yes.
Okay. Is that something that's just part of your duties that you do that?
Yes.
How many parks are there that you have to actually patrol daily?
One park, River Lake State Park.
Okay. Are there individual smaller parks within the full Lake Park area?
Yes, sir. There are individual units that are all attached to River Lake State Park.
Okay. Is there one on Carrington Road in Lakeland?
So the Carrington Road location is state land managed by TWRA. However, we operate programming and tours from an area on Carrington Road.
Okay. So it's not actually a park, right?
No, sir.
Okay. It's just an area that's owned by the state and it's actually used by the state.
Yes.
Is that area actually near the Northwest Correctional Complex?
Yes, sir.
Just an estimate of how far would you say it is from that area?
Maybe a mile.
Okay. And is that here in Lake County, Tennessee?
Yes.
That area that we're talking about on Carrington Road?
Yes, sir.
While you were patrolling that area on July 29th, 2025, did you notice anything unusual or anything that caught your attention that day?
Yes, sir.
Could you tell me what that was?
So while patrolling down Carrington Road, shortly after 1 o'clock, I found 3 vehicles parked on the left side of Carrington Road.
Okay. Do you know what type of vehicles they were?
One was a black Dodge Charger, one was a Chevrolet Traverse, and the other was a Nissan Rogue.
Okay. Did you see anyone out there, any individuals standing around the vehicles or inside the vehicles?
I did not see them.
What did you do after you noticed the vehicles? Did you stop, get out? Did you do anything?
I proceeded past the vehicles when I was making entry down Carrington Road, and I turned around and proceeded back out from that location.
Okay. As you came back out of the location, were all the vehicles still there?
No, sir.
Which vehicle was no longer there?
The Nissan Rogue had left in the time it took me to turn around.
Did you notice anything about the Nissan Rogue that was unusual for this area?
It had California tag.
I'm going to hand you this photograph. You would look at that photograph. Do you recognize either one of those two vehicles in that photograph?
The Nissan Rogue with the California tag would be the similar make and model as what I saw.
Okay. Is that vehicle similar to the one that you saw there that day?
Yes.
When you turned around and came back, was the vehicle leaving at that point, or was it already gone?
It had already left.
Could you tell anything about if it was left hurriedly, or could you tell?
In the time it took me to turn around, it had already left from where I could see it. There's quite a bit of dust in the air. As I proceeded out on Carrington Road, there are several straightaways, and at no point in time did I see the vehicle. So it indicated it left in a hurry.
Would you make that photograph with an exhibit your testimony, please?
I'm sorry. Mr. Huffman, have no objection. The court will show this be entered as state's exhibit number 1.
Officer Hussey, after you saw that vehicle leave and the other two vehicles that were still there, did you see anyone around at that point, around the vehicles?
No, I did not see
Did
any.
you make a report about that?
I wrote notes to myself, but I did not file any report at that time.
Okay. Did you later tell someone about that?
Yes.
And who was that?
My manager, Doug Ross.
What made you tell him about that incident?
Later that evening, he messaged me that there had been an incident on Carrington Road.
Okay. And at that point, what did you tell him?
I immediately called him and informed him that I had been there earlier that day and had seen those vehicles.
And was that information passed on to local law enforcement?
Yes, sir. I shortly received a call from the Sheriff's Department along with TBI and shared that knowledge with them.
And after that, did you produce all of your findings to a report?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where's my other tag on? Well, hello there, Rats.
What's up,
How
little
are you
miss?
doing?
Hey, little miss.
Little miss.
What's up?
I asked Danny for permission if I could come up and say a quick hi, and he said I could.
Oh, how nice.
Oh, nice.
So
I'm just
great
kidding.
to hear your voice. How was your
Oh,
holiday?
My holiday was absolutely brilliant. I had a great time. Lots of stories, but I won't bore you with them. How is everybody?
Great stories. Won't bore you.
You had to be there.
Yeah.
Danny, I met the women's Malaga football team. So that was
Say it again, little miss. Sorry.
I met the women's Malaga football team.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. And I went to a game, watching them in a game in training.
Nice.
Hey, that's fun.
Yeah, that
Super
was really
fun.
good.
So you said
Go
so
ladies.
that match or it was a game match, whatever.
No, well, it was well, just in training. I met them in a cafe.
Oh my
Oh, that's so fun.
That's cool.
Heck yeah.
They were all having coffee pre-training, and I was talking a bit of football with them. And they said, "Do you want to come and watch?" So I went with them on the bus.
Oh,
That's so cool.
Adventure.
Well, yeah, I had me beach bag and everything with me.
You're gonna just go home with them? Is that what you were doing? You had your luggage ready?
No, I got my boots out and had a game, Danny.
All right. Well, now you got to watch this. Watching this here.
I will do.
Austin
Thank
Drummond.
you. Thank you for letting me pop
Cool.
up, Danny. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, here we go.
Great to hear from you.
So great to have you here.
Carrington Road, that you drove past them and then turned around?
Yes, sir.
How long did it take you to go down to the area that you were turning around and then get back?
Only a few minutes, less than 5 minutes, probably 2 to 3 minutes.
2 or 3 minutes. Okay. Did you notice anything about if the vehicle were any of the doors open or anything like that?
When I was coming past the vehicle the first time, the black Dodge Charger's trunk was open.
What about when you came back?
The trunk had been closed at that time.
So you pass 3 vehicles, the trunk is up. Within 2 to 3 minutes, you come back, the trunk is closed, and the piece on road is gone.
Yes, sir.
When you get back to the road, you see no sign.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're on fast with us.
Yes, sir. Mr. Huffman? Yes, sir.
Were you able to see any individuals on scene? Did you go past them? Notice any individuals?
No, sir.
So when you go back by, same thing.
No individuals at that time.
Yes, sir. Can you read direct, General? Officer Hussey, thank you for being here, sir. You're releasing your subpoena. You can have a seat here or you're free to go, whichever you'd like to do, sir. Thank you very much. Next.
State called Deputy Hunter Brady.
Yes, sir. Deputy Brady. Yes. Absolutely. Deputy Brady, if you would, please raise your right hand. Absolutely, sir.
Good afternoon. What's your name, please?
Hunter Brady,
Deputy Brady, where do you work?
Lake County Sheriff's Department.
How long have you been working there?
Been here a little over a year now.
Do you remember if you were working on July 29th of 2025?
I was.
And was that early day or was that in the evening?
We've been in the evening.
Was that the shift you typically work?
That's correct.
Did you receive any information earlier in the day about a baby being found in another county?
I have not.
Did you heard anything about that?
Just on social, what I seen on social media.
Okay. But you had seen that earlier that day? Okay. Did you know at that time who the parents of the baby was that was dropped off or anything about that?
No, I did not.
Did you receive a call later in that evening that vehicles that may have belonged to the baby's family had been located?
I did.
And who did you get that call from?
One of the family members of one of the victims involved.
Did they call you directly or did they call dispatch?
They called it dispatch.
And you were dispatched to that area? That's correct. Where did you go? Where was that?
Joe Biffle, join the Discord. The Discord is, you're going to like it once you get in there. Oh, man. You'll love it.
Everyone loves the Discord.
In Carrington Road in Lake County?
It is.
Once you got to Carrington Road, what did you do?
Well, so when I first got there, we spoke with the female caller. She advised that she found her family vehicle parked back on the Denny Road, which is halfway down. And I made my way down there and located the white Chevy Traverse and the Dodge Charger.
Was anybody else with you? Any other officers?
Yeah, there was a Tipton officer, Officer Morrow, and Deputy Kieran Cross.
Did you all arrive about the same time?
Yeah, they were probably a minute behind me.
All right, so you proceed down Carrington Road, you find a black Charger, Dodge Charger, and a white Chevrolet Traverse vehicle.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Was anyone in the vehicles?
No, the vehicles were vacant.
Did you run any registration on the vehicles to see who they belong to?
I was approaching the vehicle as when Deputy Cross started running the registration on the black Charger.
Okay. Were you able to determine who that black Charger belonged to?
No, not at the time.
At a later time?
At a later time.
Do you know who that was? Do you know if it was Braden Williams?
I never received information from dispatch. She's the one that ran the registration.
So you didn't see anyone in the vehicles at the time. Did you start to look around the vehicles or look in the vehicles?
Yeah, so I first looked in the passenger side of the vehicle.
Which one?
Of the black Chevy first.
Okay. Did you notice anything when you looked inside?
Yeah, red substance that I believe it was blood, all in the passenger side front and the passenger side rear.
Okay. What'd you do at that point?
I advised the other officers on scene that we had either an active situation going on or something had happened and we needed to search the area.
Okay. And so did you start to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me what happened.
I walked around the vehicle a little bit and then I noticed a shoe sitting off the trail that was directly behind the vehicle and it had some blood on it. So that was the direction we determined we needed to go. And I went off in the woods. That's when I located two bodies directly behind the white Chevy first.
Okay. Did you, before you found the body, did you notice there were any shell casing around the vehicles or anything like that?
Not yet.
Okay. Did you later find
Yes,
there were?
yes. After we located two bodies, we started taking everything off and made our way back up. And that's when we located multiple shell casings around vehicles.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to the first two bodies that you located. Tell me how they were when you found them.
The male was laying on his back under his mother, and there was a tarp over the top of him.
What was the tarp? Did you know what it's made of? Or
It was like the camo nylon material, the mesh material.
were both bodies completely covered with that material?
Yeah, except for they had maybe their hand exposed out inside.
But what'd you do at that point?
That's when, started communicating with the officers. Hey, we needed to secure the scene, start a crime log, and then look and gather evidence.
Okay. Did you secure the scene at that time?
Yes.
What did you do to secure the scene?
We taped it off, cleared the area, and contact our supervisors to like contact the guy.
Okay. All right. After finding those two bodies, were there ever any other bodies discovered?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that.
It was after Dyer County arrived. One of the Dyer County deputies noticed a shoe on the south side of the road, and I was standing with him. I noticed some red pools, what appeared to be blood, and then we just kind of shined in the woods, and you could see two more bodies under tarps.
Okay. Now, was this in the same area as the original two that you found?
No, it was within south of them, across the gravel roadway. It was in the same area, but it's
But how close were they to one another? Before you had the two initial bodies and then two others. How far apart were they?
about 60 feet.
Were those bodies covered as well?
They were.
Same type material?
Same type material tarp.
Okay. Were you able to identify who any of them were at that time?
No, not that time.
Did you have any other involvement in this case?
I did not.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Mr. Huffman?
That'd be great. Okay, so you were dispatched to this area, carry truck, correct?
That's correct.
You remember about what time that would be?
It was roughly 8 o'clock, I believe.
Okay. Are there dispatch logs reporting times?
Yeah, that's correct.
When you arrived on scene, you said there was one typical officer and another officer on scene?
Like County Sheriff's deputy.
Okay. When you arrived on scene and you noticed these things, you said that you secured the scene after you discovered the body, is that correct?
That's correct.
The first set of bodies? Yes. All right. How many total officers were on scene at that point in time?
When we found the first set of bodies, there was just 3. No, 4, because a trooper had showed up right as we were entering.
And you recall which officers those were?
Hayden, Trooper Hayden.
And did you write any report or anything like that?
I did.
Were those need to be located in that report as well?
Yes.
All right. You said when you were on scene, you secured the scene by taking it off?
That's correct.
All right. And how long after arriving on scene and discovering bodies did you do that?
It was within minutes.
All right. And contact your supervisors and they contact your TBI, is that correct?
That's correct.
Were you wearing your body on camera at that time?
I was.
Was it active at that time?
Yes.
Is that footage backed up?
Yes.
Available for discovery?
Yeah.
Were you in a marked vehicle?
I was.
Does that have a dash cam?
It does not.
The other officers, do you know if they had body cams or dash cams?
They have body cams. We don't have dash cams.
To your knowledge, were those active as well?
To my knowledge, yes.
And when you were securing the scene, were you doing any evidence collection?
We was marking evidence as we were finding it. Yeah.
Okay. Did you remove any items?
No.
Did you take any photos at that time?
I did not.
Yes, sir. Any ready, Director General? If you're ready, thank you, sir. You're releasing your subpoena. You are either free to go or free to stay, whichever you'd like to do. Your next witness, General.
I'm going to call Officer Brandon Wheeler.
Officer Wheeler. Officer Wheeler, please come to the stand, sir. And if you would, sir, please raise your right hand. Oh, sorry. Thank you, sir. Be sure to stick in the mic.
Will you state your name? Detective Brandon Wheeler. And Detective Wheeler, where do you work? I work in the Duxbury Police Department. And were you involved in this investigation, the case of why we're here today?
Yes.
Okay. What were you asked to do?
I'm not sure if Special Agent Harbor reached out to us or if we reached out offering assistance, but we were trying to identify a vehicle that was of interest.
Okay. And how are you trying to do that?
So we have two LPR systems. There's a Motorola LPR system and the flock camera system, and we were utilizing those to try to identify a rogue, Nissan Rogue.
What is the LPR?
License plate reader.
And was there anything in particular about the Nissan Rogue that you were looking for?
Yeah, this one in question specifically had a California plate on it, which is not typical for our area.
Okay. And the city of Dyersburg had these two license plate readers, right?
There's more than two, but there are several in the city.
Those systems.
Yes.
Flock and Motorola.
Yes.
And you have the ability to access those, right?
I do.
And can you access any other ones?
We can access other cameras that other agencies have shared with us.
Okay. And did you do that as part of this investigation?
Yes.
Who else did you access?
I access. There's several thousand agencies that openly share their cameras with us, so we can search all of them all at once.
Okay. And aside from Dyersburg, who else did you end up searching as it relates to this investigation?
The Jackson cameras.
Okay. I'm gonna hand you up some photographs. Do you recognize that one?
I do.
Okay. And what is it?
It's a picture of the silver Nissan Rogue with the California plate.
All right. And what system did that come from? Flock or Motorola?
This is from the flock system.
And is that in Jackson or Dyersburg?
Jackson.
And what time is that?
11:32 a.m. on the 29th of July.
And do you make that exhibit to your testimony today?
Yes.
No, we have to make that state exhibit too.
No objection. No objection. That's
Yeah, that's why we stopped at Prince Lover. Yeah, caught it. We stopped it after they told 20 lies. Then we got it straight back out.
thank you to discussion.
And Officer Wheeler, do you recognize what's also been handed up to you now?
I do.
And you recognize that one as well?
I do.
Okay, what is it?
It is a picture from the Motorola system in Dyersburg, capturing the vehicle going northbound Highway 78.
And that's the same road with the California license plate?
It is.
It's the same license plate as we saw in the first picture?
It is.
Okay. And what time of the day is that one captured?
This one was captured at 12:39 p.m. on July 20th.
And where is that one located? Where is that particular camera located at in Dyersburg?
That particular camera is located at the intersection of Lake Road and Radio Road, right in front of Love's.
Could you repeat that again? Where it was intersection of where?
Lake Road and Radio Road,
Radio Road. Okay, I'm sorry.
between Love's and Cricket Road.
And do you make that one exhibit to your testimony as well?
I do.
Okay.
Show this marked as State's Exhibit 3.
And then let's go back to the second picture that I actually handed up to you. You recognize that one as well?
I do.
Okay. And is it from the same camera that you just identified as the last picture?
It is from the same set of cameras facing a different direction.
Okay, which direction does that camera face?
This one is facing southbound towards the city.
And what does it depict?
It shows a picture of the same Nissan Rogue California plate heading back in towards Harrisburg.
And what's the date and time on that picture?
This picture was taken at 2:15 p.m. on July 29th.
2025.
Correct.
You make that one exhibit to your testimony as well?
I do.
You know, we have to make that exhibit for one.
Okay. Absolutely. Show this marked as State's Exhibit number 4.
One more photo then.
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize that one as well?
I do.
And what system did it come from?
This is from the flock system.
Is that in Jackson or Dyersburg?
Jackson.
And what date and time captures that one?
This picture was taken at 4:16 p.m. July 29th, 2025.
And does it depict the same road as we've seen in the previous ones?
Yes, same road, same license plate.
Do you make that exhibit to your testimony as well?
I do.
And we have to make that state exhibit 5. No question.
Show this marked as State's Exhibit number 5.
You can have that passed back to Officer Wheeler. Officer Wheeler, on that last photo, was there anything of significance that you noticed?
Yes, this is a photo taken from the front angle of the vehicle, and you can see the driver in this photo.
Okay. And can you describe the driver?
The driver appears to be a white male, has a goatee, and looks very similar to the defendant.
And is there anything that you noticed about the vehicle in that photograph?
Yes. So the vehicle in this photograph appears to be much dirtier, especially around the wheels and the rims, than it was previously earlier in the day.
Yes, sir. Mr. Huffy.
A few questions. Thank you, Wheeler. So you were asked to look for a Nissan Rogue California plates, correct?
I don't remember the exact parameters, but I believe we were looking for a Rogue with California plates.
Did you have a plate number?
No, sir.
Once you located the vehicle in the photos that you presented and the evidence, did you continue looking for other Nissan Rogues with California tags?
Yes.
Did you find any more?
No.
And the only photo that was Exhibit 5 with the front view of the vehicles, were there other ones from the rear, is that correct?
I don't remember exactly, but I think they were all from the rear.
And then the one on Exhibit 5, which is.
Yes.
Any redirect on? Take it, Wheeler. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. You're free to go. Please stay, but you're refused to, sir. Your next witness, General.
Special Agent Scott Lawson.
Agent Lawson.
Yep, Prince Lover. That's also where I got the virtual. Your And that turned out great. But
Awesome. Please
it
come
looked
to the stand,
legit.
sir. And before you have a seat, if you would, sir, please raise your right hand. I do. Thanks, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he wins some, he loses some.
My name is Scott Lawson.
And do you work for the Federal Bureau of Investigation?
I do.
Okay, what is your current assignment with the FBI?
I'm a special agent on the State Streets Task Force.
Okay. And were you involved in the investigation as to this homicide in Lake County?
I was.
What role did you play?
Most of my experience is in the command post, assisting with cell phone analysis from tolls, working with timelines and video review to assist in the exploitation of cell phone data.
Okay. And have you received training on cell phone data?
I have.
What kind of training have you received?
I'm a member of the FBI's child abduction team, and we get yearly training with our cellular analysis survey team. That's the experts at FBI headquarters with analyzing cell phone data, geolocation data. So when we deploy with the child rapid deployment team, we are consistently working in partnership with the CAS team to analyze cell phone data and kind of feed each other back and forth to further investigations.
Okay. And is that what you did here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What specific cell phone data did you look at?
We started off our investigation by doing a deep analysis on the tolls of the victims' cellular telephones. When I say tolls, I'm speaking of the incoming and outgoing calls from the victims' phones to include records of incoming and outgoing text messages.
Okay. And when you did that, did you notice anything in particular?
Yes, we worked off the theory due to many of the victims arriving at the scene where they were murdered at various times, right? So they didn't all just appear there together. So we worked under the theory that someone must have organized a meeting or at least some type of reason to get the four victims to the crime scene. So as we were looking at the victims' tolls, we were looking for any unknown or unusual cell phone activity, particularly any cell phone number that would have contacted any of the victims consistent with maybe asking them to come to this location.
Okay. And did a number stand out?
There was one number that was immediately interesting. It showed up on the cell phone analysis at approximately 6:38 that morning, 6:38 a.m. That number was unknown as far as the tolls that we had analyzed at that point of known numbers of associates of the victims. In addition, another thing that we do when we're working these investigations is try to determine when the victims' phones stop taking calls, right? We're trying to work on a timeline. We're trying to narrow everything down so that our cell phone data is strong as possible. We noticed from the four victims' phones that none of the victims answered a call or made a call after 7:01 a.m. So knowing where they were located and when their phones stopped answering calls, we knew that whatever had happened to them had most likely happened right around or just before 7:01 a.m.
And the number that stood out, was that 731-345-7426?
It was.
So prior to 6:38 that morning, there wasn't any tolls of the victims.
Right. We subpoenaed the number and ascertained that phone had just came on for the first time ever that morning, and that it had been purchased the night before at a Walmart in Dyersburg, Tennessee.
And so what else did you do next?
We asked for tolls for that cell phone number to ascertain who, at that time, we could only see when it had called one of the victims' phones, which we had their tolls. So we now asked for the tolls of the number ending in 7426. One of the first things we saw when those tolls came in is that at 7:01 was the last call with one of the victims, Adriana Williams, and at 7:25, it was calling persons associated with the rental of the Nissan Rogue car that was in question. So we knew pretty confidently that number was very interesting to us. We then asked for the cell phone company to provide geolocation records for the cell phone 731-345-7426, and immediately we ascertained that number had been at the crime scene and had started traveling south from the crime scene at approximately 7:24 a.m. As I mentioned earlier, my job is to combine the phone, the video reviews, and the timelines to make it tell a story, to help it assist in telling a story. We also had ascertained that Matt Wilson's vehicle was also going south from the crime scene, passing a camera at approximately 7:25 a.m. And the cell phone data put this newly identified cell phone number passing that same camera at a time consistent with Matt Wilson's truck going southbound.
And Mr. Wilson's truck is a late 80s F-150.
That's correct.
Can I ask one thing? I'm sorry. When you say passes the camera, are you referring to the camera where that camera?
I should be more specific. Yes, sir. So
I apologize.
No, absolutely. There was a fire station on Highway 78 just north of the main intersection here, headed towards the crime scene, and that was the video that caught the F-150 traveling southbound at 7:25 a.m.
There had been some testimony about cameras, and I was trying to make sense of which one it was talking about. So
yes, sir.
Apologize for interrupting you. Yes, sir.
All right, Agent Lawson, you had mentioned that 7426 called a number associated with the rental. Can you explain that?
Yes, due to some good work performed previously, there was a Nissan Rogue that had been identified that had been rented in Jackson, Tennessee the day before and picked up on the morning of the homicide. This vehicle was captured on license plate readers going northbound towards the crime scene and then going southbound away from the crime scene at a time later in the afternoon. In addition, there was some identification of the vehicle from a park ranger being seen at the location. The investigative team followed up with the rental agreement and with Enterprise Rental Car to learn about the who had rented this vehicle, and identified a Michelle Obelis, I may not pronounce the last name correctly, Obelis, as being the renter. As that investigation continued, she had identified that the vehicle had been given to Austin Drummond and rented on Austin Drummond's behalf.
And did she have any connection to the defendant, Mr. Drummond?
Her boyfriend, Giovanni Thomas, was closely associated with Austin, and she was also closely associated with an individual named Tanaka Brown. Our phone toll analysis identified that at 7:25, as that number 731-345-7426 was leaving the crime scene, it was jumping on a three-way conference call with Tanaka Brown and Giovanni Thomas.
And then what happened next?
So obviously at this point, we were extremely interested in just learning everything we can about the user of this telephone number. We learned that upon departing the crime scene, it traveled to an area in Dyersburg commonly known as Bikini Bottoms. Bikini Bottoms used to be like an off-road recreation vehicle area for ATVs and such. When the phone arrived, and a point of interest, as this phone is traveling south towards Bikini Bottom, one of the victim's phones is traveling in concert with that phone. So that was very interesting to us as well. Both of those phones got to the Bikini Bottom area, and the phone 731-345-7426 arrived at Bikini Bottom at approximately 7:44 a.m. and stayed in the area to approximately 9:04 a.m. Based on what we do with violent crime investigations and the knowledge base that we had, we theorized that something as far as getting rid of evidence or weapons or something had happened at that Bikini Bottom area.
And in fact, did it?
It did. There was, based on the phone data and the investigation in whole, search parties were organized to go to Bikini Bottom. On the day that these phone tolls were being worked, they initially found a Tennessee driver's license for Matthew Wilson. And the next day, we found Mr. Wilson's vehicle down in the ravine there at Bikini Bottom.
And that's the late 80s F-150 truck?
Yes, sir.
Did 7426 stay at Bikini Bottom?
Stayed there till about 9:04 a.m. And then it began a southeastwardly travel towards Jackson, Tennessee.
Okay. And did it eventually reach Jackson?
It did.
You know what time?
I'll refer to my notes for a more specific time. We saw it arriving in the Jackson, Tennessee area at approximately 10:04 a.m.
And where did the phone go while it was in Jackson?
The phone first travels to an area consistent with the Clarion Hotel in Jackson, Tennessee. It then moves towards the Cherry Grove Apartments, and then eventually towards back up towards Dyersburg.
Okay. Let's stay in Jackson for a minute. Was there any significance to the Clarion Hotel?
Through the investigation, the Clarion was identified as a place where Austin Drummond resided regularly and potentially used as a place to organize criminal activity.
And was he paid for the Clarion?
The information from the investigation is that his personal vehicle, the Audi, was at the Clarion. Mr. Tanaka Brown, who picked him up at Bikini Bottom, drove him back to his vehicle at Clarion, and then followed him to Cherry Grove to depart to leave the Audi sedan.
Is there any significance to the Cherry Grove apartment?
Cherry Grove Apartments is where Mr. Drummond's girlfriend, Caitlin Speed, resided. The investigation revealed that when his vehicle was departed at the Cherry Grove apartment complex, that he ascertained some cleaning style brushes at the apartment.
And then you said after that it starts moving back north towards Dyersburg?
There's a little time with it still being in Jackson, but by 11:55 a.m., the phone began a northwestern travel towards Bell, Tennessee.
And then it reaches Dyersburg?
We have the phone in conjunction with the license plate readers being in Dyersburg at 12:39 p.m. and by 1:04 p.m. being back north of Tiptonville near the crime scene.
And did it stay at the crime scene very long?
The phone appeared to stay, and just one note of reference for an education and this geolocation stuff with phones. You get these records either when a phone call is placed, a text message is placed, or some type of data transfer between the phone and the network. So if Instagram sends you a notification or your bank pops up and says you overdrafted, like any kind of data transfer, you'll get a location data. But a person could be at a place a couple minutes before, and we would not see that due to if there was no data transmission. Could stay at the place a couple minutes after. These time frames are based on a call being made or a data transfer happening. So the last data transfer we saw near the crime scene was at 1:14 p.m.
All right, and then what happened?
1:38, we started seeing timing advanced data southbound from the crime scene. Timing advanced data is how a cellular tower communicates with the handheld phone device. So in a nutshell, the cell phone towers that you see have 3 sectors that cover a 360-degree circle. Each of these sectors cover approximately 120 degrees. When a phone is on the network, it's constantly sending some type of signal to the phone to determine how far away it is from that network. And the primary reason is a business sense from the phone company. They need to know which tower that phone should be using to have the strongest reception or the strongest data capability. So as that ping is going to that phone and coming back to that tower, if it's getting a little too far away or maybe a little closer to another tower, it'll tell it to start communicating with the stronger tower. So what we can do in law enforcement is we can ask to obtain that timing advanced data. And what that will do is say, when the phone was making that call or having that data transaction, what sector is it on, what 120-degree arc from the tower, and how long did it take that communication to go to the phone and back. So if you have 120 degrees and you're measuring the time from the tower to the phone and back, you're able to say that phone is somewhere in that arc that represents the amount of time from the tower and back.
So 138, you start seeing timing advanced data moving south from the crime scene?
That's correct.
Okay. And what happened next?
Still tracking south towards Dyersburg through 2:14 p.m. Then we have another license plate reader hit in Dyersburg at 2:15 p.m. From the next timing advanced data of significance was from 2:32 to 2:35. It was tracking towards Friendship, where 8-month-old Wesleyan was dropped off. The phone hit a arc right over the house where the baby was dropped off at approximately 2:35 p.m.
Did you say the phone hit an arc? What does that mean?
So when the phone made either a data transfer or a phone call or a text message at 2:35, the phone communicated with the tower in an amount of time consistent that it had to be in an arc that covered the area of the home where the baby was dropped off.
Okay. So then what happened after that?
Around 2:35 to 2:55, the phone starts slowly going back northbound towards Dyersburg. We learned through our investigation by 3:11 p.m. the 911 call was coming in about the child being in the yard. From 2:57 to 3:23, the phone starts tracking towards Bells, Tennessee, southeast again, eventually towards Jackson.
Okay. And does it eventually reach Jackson?
It does. At 3:39 p.m., the telephone number was back in the Jackson, Tennessee area. Of great significance to the investigative team. At 4:22 p.m., I'll try to explain this. It's a little bit difficult, but I mentioned the arcs where a phone can be in. So if you've got a sector pointing this way and you have the arc, but if you're in a city and you got multiple towers close, sometimes you'll see the arc from this tower and then the other tower facing back at you, you'll see its arc. So if you ever have two arcs intercept, you can not only say the phone is in the arc, you can say it's exactly, you can say with great confidence that the phone is where the two arcs intercept. You almost have to see that, but where the two arcs from two towers intersected from 4:22 p.m. to 6:06 p.m. was right over Austin Drummond's parents' home.
Then did he leave his parents' home?
Approximately 6:34, we saw the phone being in an area consistent with the Clarion Hotel again. And then at 8:44 p.m., we saw the phone being in an area consistent with being back at Cherry Grove Apartments at Taking Speed residence. And then of note, the phone went off the network. Well, let me mention this. Of note, Lake County received a 911 call at 8:17 p.m., kind of alerting the family and the public to what's going on. The phone went off the network for the last time ever at 8:44 p.m. So the phone was just turned on for that day and then was never used again after 8:44 p.m.
Thank you, Agent Lawson.
Yes.
So you're
Bam. Ponytail.
It's a lot. That's a lot.
Have we seen his face yet?
No.
Come on. I hate that they do that.
Big Seagal? Well, yeah, he's kind of big.
Yeah.
Mid.
I don't know if it's a good kind of big or
I don't know.
probably not.
That's classified, Mary B. I don't.
Still,
We need some
he
new
has
angles.
The power. He has the power of the ponytail still, though.
Proud of him still.
Do not
like
underestimate
everything
the
else.
power of the ponytail.
Is that a lawyer thing or?
I don't know, but Small Seagal taught us a lesson.
That's right. He's
I mean,
small,
if he
but
doesn't have a
Small.
ring, then
that
I'm
magic
not interested.
ring.
Telling you, you better watch out for this ponytail.
He did, he had a, he had a thing going. He worked, he really did. There was something about him. And I saw, like, not to make this about Small Seagal, but I sent you guys all the local Connecticut stuff because it was all over. I was getting all kinds of notifications, but he did an interview. I know that I shared it in the Discord, and he actually seemed very sweet. He seemed like he really cared, like he was a genuine person.
I saw that.
And he's a handsome guy. Like,
Yeah, Runkle has a ponytail too.
Who does?
LYK could if you wanted to. You can have the little.
Yeah, Runkle has long hair, but he never puts it in a ponytail. It's always out. Like,
Well, maybe they do when they go to court. It's like when chicks get ready to play softball, they put their hair in a ponytail.
I don't know what to think about ponytail. anymore. You remember the Seinfeld? Wait, Seinfeld's ponytail. Great.
Noodles' mama said, "Did she miss anything about it?" I'm like, "Okay. No, I just said he could put his hair in a ponytail if he wanted to, bro."
Sometimes the
Maybe it's
word
like
depends upon.
maybe it's like a alpha male, alpha lawyer thing. Like, look at my ponytail.
You
But
know,
if they get in a fight, you're gonna lose the leverage when I grab hold to that thing.
Exactly.
that's not a manly thing to do. What kind of a man would grab another man's ponytail? That's crazy.
One of the men in the fight that's
Not
trying to
dating
win,
that
trying to win the fight.
Oh, that's great.
We got to get through this guy so we can go to bed.
Punch, kick,
Okay.
grab things, whatever you got to do.
Yeah, I can see Rumpel going over the top, tying it up high, getting ready
Hell yeah.
to go after some
Cell
witnesses.
phone analysis and just assisting with interpretation in the command post of the timeline, the video, and the phone data.
All right, now, I actually understand what you're talking about with the triangulation regarding those things. The only way,
Oh,
cell phone data.
Lady Rob. What's up, sweet woman?
Hey, sweet woman. Did you just get home?
Yeah.
Hey, sweet
What you been
woman.
doing?
Hello.
What's up?
Where
I
you
went
been?
to my usual Thursday night group.
Oh,
Nice.
well, we don't
And
know
then
what
went
that
out with
is.
Mr. Sweet Woman for some food.
Aw, meal of food.
Little meal of food.
Lobster. Lobster.
No lobster tonight.
Oh my God. Why not? Look at that lobster.
I don't know, because that was insanely delicious.
Oh, Lord.
Look at
You're
that
showing this
lobster.
to me before bed, Danny? Trying to kill me?
Yes, look at the fucking lobster.
Oh, my God.
Ah,
Love.
you're gonna
That's
have to
beautiful.
send
That's
some of that in the
beautiful.
mail or something.
As long as
Send
you
me
have
some of that lobster in the mail.
Or we could just have a
Just
big
wrap
party.
it up.
Yeah, you need to come here to get it.
lobster bake.
Oh my God.
You
Rat
need it
lobster
fresh.
bake. Yep.
Driving, I can get a fake lobster down here.
It's not
Who
the
wants a
same.
fake
Shark meat.
No,
Get
don't
the
do
shark
it.
meat in the shape of the lobster.
Don't do
There
it.
you
You know
go.
what I mean?
You
Get
can get
that
some
good
spam.
shark meat.
Put it in
Ugh.
like a cookie cutter.
Mary B ruined the whole thing with the cookie cutter.
Sorry.
They use expensive molds, Mary B, not freaking cookie cutters
It's the
to
same
make
thing.
the little
I
fake
miss Little
lobster
Miss.
claws.
Yeah,
I
she's
think
still
she's
here.
in the chat.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she came up. She came
She
up
was
here.
up
Yeah.
for a minute and then she left. She just got back from holiday.
I hope she had a great time.
Hanging out with soccer
Yes.
players.
Seems like she has.
A lot of
She's
great
been having a
stories
good
that we
time.
can't hear.
Well, let's see what Niles, we're going to call him Nal, N-A-W, Seagal. Nal Seagal.
No, Seagal.
He's I don't know,
Nah,
the
Seagal.
current Steven
Looked at
Seagal
my
is
TV.
big Seagal like that. So he may be the
Yeah.
actual Steven Seagal. We haven't seen his face.
He is a big guy.
Yeah,
it
he
could
could
be
be.
him. Bearded Seagal. That's right.
Mm-hmm. I'll allow it.
That is correct.
Papa
Now, in order to
Seagal.
determine the position of the cell phone, you can tell which sector it's in, correct?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And unless you have timing advanced data, you do not have a distance from the tower, correct?
Right, that requires the timing of that.
All right, so you do not have the timing advanced data, you just know it's somewhere in that sector.
Yes.
And that could be large area, square miles, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. How many of these locations did you have timing advanced data? For instance, you said there's one where the timing advanced data gave you triangulation directly over Austin from his parents' house.
Yes.
Right. A couple times you testified that you had the cell phone at the crime scene.
Yes.
Was that given with the timing advanced data, or was that just in the general area with the sector?
That was with timing advanced data, but it would be with one arc, so it could be in a great length of area.
Night Noodles, Mama.
So you did have a sector and an arc.
Yes.
Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Finally. Glad you found
Did
us.
you ever determine-
Oh, I meant to ask, how did you find us? Was it a random find or somebody got you in the
One of the
chat?
calls.
It was Steve and Glara's chat. No, Clara shouting out.
Oh, God.
And Danny
Yeah.
and Mary. And who else? Yeah.
Pinky paid Turtle Boy
And
$100.
Connor.
He was
And
like, I'll say
Connor,
whatever you
yes,
want.
and Connor.
Yeah.
And
I was
Diane
just wondering.
G,
Maybe you found it in the algorithm.
our
That'd be
girl, Diane G.
Oh, Cheryl
We
got
believe
her.
that two of the victims purchased.
Cool.
Oh, cool, Cheryl.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Cheryl's awesome.
Not him personally, no, sir.
Cheryl is awesome.
Yes, Cheryl is awesome. Consensus says.
No, we refer to
The
this
criminal
as the
ravine,
chat
my
all
understanding is
stars.
the Tennessee DL was a paper copy, and it was not down the hill. It was up more in that kind of common area, but it wasn't down the ravine.
Were you involved in that search process in that scene?
No, sir. No, sir.
Sweet woman, you see Noodles' mama? She snuck up in here and she's hanging out.
No, I did not see Noodles Mama.
Mm-hmm. There she is. She hangs out with us now.
Hey, Noodles Mama.
Can you redirect, General? No, Your Honor. Agent Austin, thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Your next witness, General.
Special Agent Justin Tubbs.
Agent Tubbs, you would please come to the witness stand, sir.
Justin Tubbs. The name's
If at any time any parties
Tubbs.
need to take
Here in
a
Tennessee.
doing things, let me know. I'll be happy to do that. I just forgot to mention that. Agent Tubbs, raise your right hand, sir, please.
I do.
Thank you, sir.
All right. His name can't be Tubbs now.
Danny.
Because he looks like he's my age, and if he is, he's got about 45 fucking nicknames.
Oh, for Christ's
And Tubbs is 42 of them.
He forgot what his real name is.
I'm just kidding. I'm not even. I was gonna say I'm just kidding. I'm not
Oh.
kidding. Yeah,
Sorry, that's mean.
I know that. I didn't. Looks like the lawyer right there might be.
He's wearing a nice summer suit.
Yeah. Tubbs, welcome, Tubbs.
Would you state your name, please?
Justin Tubbs,
And Special Agent Tubbs, where do you work, sir?
with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation.
How long have you worked there?
Been there.
I bet you $5, Janine, if we watch this all the way through the end of whatever. Obviously, he's going to plead not guilty and take it to trial. So I guarantee you, somebody in this trial is going to say, being in Tennessee, they're going to say, "I declare."
Oh, I hope
It's coming. There's an "I declare" coming down the line.
And we're
in this
here for
Tennessee.
it.
It's going to be the judge too. I bet.
I can't. That's going to be our drinking game.
Telling you, I can feel it. I'm in Mississippi. I'm close. I feel like "I declare" coming in there.
Old school.
Sorry, Your Honor. I meant to say objection. I said "I declare." Objection, Your Honor.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's coming. You're gonna owe me $100.
I will.
And you recall,
But if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna owe you $5.
You know I'm good for it.
That's fair. Call on evening July 29, 2025.
That's not fair, bad.
You know what the purpose of that call was?
I declare you gonna pay
Lake
it.
County Sheriff's Department had been called to an area out by the prison where two vehicles, I had received emails about the child that was missing that morning or that afternoon
From Dyer County.
from Dyer County, and the parents of the child plus the grandmother and the uncle of the child. So whenever I was called, I was told their vehicles and the deceased victims had been found out at the end of Guaranteed Road.
Okay. Did you go to that scene?
I did.
Once you got to that scene, what did you see?
There were members of not only the Dyer County Sheriff's Department, Lake County Sheriff's Department, Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, because it was on their land, but there was also some special agents.
Zeb, they're in Tennessee. They're not in Louisiana. You don't know a good Cajun accent. You can't understand a damn word they're saying. You're like, you go to the gas station down in Louisiana, and you're like, what in the fuck are y'all talking about? Well, I'm from Mississippi. They're supposed to make fun of the way I talk. I can't make fun of the way you talk because I don't know what the fuck you're saying. The closer you get to New Orleans, the less you can understand what the people are saying. If you see somebody in overalls, you might as well learn sign language. You ain't gonna understand a word. It's gonna be like Waterboy. What was the code?
Overall,
What's
then
the
change.
code?
Oh, you better run.
Yeah. Them jokers got a hard accent, way worse than your Boston
Yeah, had
accents.
also been called to come out and assist me.
Boston ain't got nothing on
I
me.
saw the black Charger that was known to be driven by Braden Williams, 15-year-old child, and a white Traverse that was known to be driven by Courtney Rose.
Was anyone inside the vehicle?
They were not.
What did you do after locating those vehicles?
We had Deputy Hunter Brady
I've to Louisiana.
what he had discovered whenever he first came upon the scene, and He showed us inside of the white traverse. There was a red, brownish stain substances that are consistent with what I know to be blood. And then he showed us.
Let me ask you, do you know who that white traverse belonged to?
It was known to be driven by Courtney Rose.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And if you drive down Carrington Road, to the left where it kind of comes to a dead end, it's almost like a parking lot where these vehicles are parked.
Minnesota
Behind that,
overall.
there's woods, same as if you, what the deputy before was talking about, if you cross the road, you have wooded area in front of you. So the deputy took us to the back of the parking lot and showed us where Braden Williams and Miss Courtney Rose were laying. They were covered with what looked like to be camouflage burlap, which is commonly used with hunting that I know of. And then he walked us in front of the parking lot across the road where the bodies of Adriana Williams and Matthew Wilson were at, and they were also covered with the same type of burlap.
Were you able to, were they all deceased?
They were.
You're right.
Yes, sir.
Were you able to determine the cause of death?
What?
Angel, I love cats. As long as they're at your house.
Not a medical cause, but what appears to be.
Love
The injuries were
love
consistent with
Fiona
gunshot
to
wounds
death.
that all four victims had.
Were you able to determine how many gunshot wounds there were?
Not at the time.
Were you able to at a later time?
Yes, whenever the medical examiner out of Nashville called me with preliminary findings, he informed me of how many wounds and type of wounds that each victim had.
What type of wounds did Courtney Rose have?
She had been shot in the head
How many times?
at least once. I don't remember.
What about Braden Williams?
He had been shot in the back of the head.
What about Adriana Williams?
She had also been shot in the head.
And what about Matthew Wilson?
Mr. Wilson had been shot in multiple places in his body for approximately 11 times.
I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. Please, hurry. Please, help me. Hurry.
What?
What the hell is that?
What just happened?
I don't know, man.
Did somebody just freak out?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Someone's going back and forth. I mean, don't they have?
Judge
isn't there a backup?
specifically said, "Don't do that."
Oh yeah, he just told everybody. I'm gonna put that.
He said, "Just
fucking,
leave if you have to leave. You don't need to like make a big announcement." Sorry, that was probably like a family member, and I mean,
Wait, can you rewind that?
Yeah, I'm gonna rewind that a little bit.
Informed me of how many wounds and type of wounds that each victim had.
What type of wounds did Courtney Rose have?
She had been shot in the head
How many times?
at least once. I don't remember.
What about Braden Williams?
He had been shot in the back of the head.
What about Adriana Williams?
She had also been shot in the head.
And what about Matthew Wilson?
Mr. Wilson had been shot in multiple places in his body for approximately 11 times.
I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. Please.
Oh my god, poor. Oh, that's horrible.
Well, I have to say, Tennessee really got their mics going way better than any other courtroom because I can hear people breathing. And I keep thinking somebody's sneaking up behind me.
So wait, so
Yeah.
it was a female that was saying, "I got to get out of here. Got to get out of here," right? Like,
Yeah, that was probably a family member.
yeah, of
She was upset.
of course.
I think he's the last witness. What they call it, maybe one
Oh,
more.
it's such a horrific crime. I mean, who could blame her?
It's open for a while. I think we might have to watch him on the next show. I
Yeah.
think we should do that. Let's finish him. Look at that look. Look at that freeze frame.
Keep him right there, brother.
That's Tubbs. Don't fuck with Tubbs. He looks like he's like one of them dudes that kind of looks overweight, but he's super strong.
Yeah.
could
Maybe.
be.
Could be.
Reminds me of my friend Donald.
It could be.
Yeah, could be. If he
It
moved.
could be your friend Donald. You
It
don't
could be
know.
my friend Donald. He could have
You
moved.
just don't know.
Could have moved to Tennessee.
Well, that was another fun show.
It sure was.
Wish more people would showed up, but when you do this other content, that's what you can expect.
That's all right. Next.
Still want to hear Karen read stuff, and I do too. I can play it every night, but I gotta watch some other stuff, whether
Yeah,
people like it or not. Fuck it.
Yeah, we change it up.
Yeah, they got to learn to like it, you know?
Gotta watch other. There's so many other cases. You know. Yeah.
Got to be open-minded.
Yep.
Little Miss said no.
And this case is crazy. I mean, it really is wild. You know, so I'm looking forward.
That's a
to
pretty
looking more
interesting
about
case,
it.
especially if he's going to stand on the fact that he says he's innocent, and that'll make it
Yeah.
more interesting. But
Yeah.
just like the other one we watched, if we start watching it and they're like, "Oh, this dude left fingerprints all in the bloody buckets. He cut the body up, and it's like his ID's in here. He went and bought the knife 30 minutes before. He logged
There's
his
actually a
phone
video
onto
of
his
it.
car.
Yeah.
There's video. His car recorded each drop off because he logged up and synced up with his car on the way. And it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You didn't even trying to get away with it. You should have just drove that body to the police station
Yeah, right.
and saved yourself all that time cutting and
Handcuffs,
packaging.
please.
Yeah, no need to package. Just drive your ass up to the police station. Go in with like Weekend at Bernie's and turn your damn self in. Stupid
I
criminals.
just watched that the other
Yeah,
day.
he confessed.
Which one? Sweet one.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, did you? Oh, I love that.
Oh my God, that's such a classic.
Yeah.
I love Weekend at Bernie's. Movies used to be so much better than
Yeah, I don't watch
everything's
that
all CGI. And it's like people can't do
Back in the
that.
1900s.
Like
Yeah.
Mr. Vin Diesel, you can't jump your fucking 442 68 Camaro across buildings and then actually hit the fucking window on the other building and not all the brick. Like,
You have
I
to
don't know.
suspend disbelief, brother.
Yeah. They're hanging from helicopters and shit. It's like, come on, man. Weren't y'all racing, simply just racing
Stop
cars
it.
on the best one, but not the first one? Just simply racing the cars. That's it.
Yeah, whatever happened to a quarter mile at a time, you know?
Isn't
Just
that
live your
the
life a quarter mile at a time, episode 1.
hit the nose?
Yeah, right?
The nods. Well, good night, ladies.
Good night,
Gentlemen.
brother.
Good night.
Sisters,
Good
chat, we
times.
We'll
love
do it
you.
again
Love you
another
guys.
night. We are going to
Love
do it maybe tomorrow night, but if nothing else, then we are definitely pre-gaming Turtle Boy Saturday. Got to get our views back up. Turtle Boy streams killing.
Okie doke.
Cool.
And now we got Noodles Mama in it.
Yay.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Yay.
Moving on up. Oh, there we go. Hold on. There was something I wanted to play before I got off here. What was it?
Uh-oh.
What was it? It's one of these short things.
Is it the Connor video?
I think it is.
Please
Wait, did you see this? It's hilarious.
Call from
Steve.
Oh wait, I have a question.
What's up, buddy?
That's my dog. What's up with my dog? That's my dog.
Steve, just want to give a shout out to Rat House Media and Danny and Connor and Mary B.
And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
Oh, okay. I see Rat House Media right here. All right. Right
I
on.
was talking
Love
to
you,
Kazi.
Blair.
I was talking to Kazi because Kazi's indicting everybody.
That is perfect.
Love you. I love you guys too. I think you guys like have a channel or something.
I think.
You guys just
Thanks.
like yeah, we got a
Thanks,
YouTube
Blair.
channel. You guys are a little gang or what's up?
Gang.
All right, gang.
We're the Jets.
No.
No, he's like
Yeah, we're a little clique.
Now I want to play the other one because it
I
may
want to know
be.
what game Steve was talking about that we were going to watch later.
He was just making shit up. He was just making
It
shit up.
works.
He was just doing the Bud commercial.
It works
Exactly.
for
Dude.
and for us.
That's exactly what he was doing. Was the Budweiser commercial?
Yeah, from the
That's what
Super
he
Bowl
was doing.
in the 90s.
It's fucking. This is my favorite thing.
Best.
What's up, ChatRats? Welcome to another installment of Rat House Media. I'm Danny Thomas, whatever that is.
You're a loser, guy. Danny, Connor's trying to get your attention.
All right. So I had to watch it first. It's like Dean sends you something. You're just going to play it.
You don't
That's
trust
true.
Dean or Connor?
Oh.
Come on.
Do you even watch the freaking show, Lolene?
That's so funny. Where's MJ? I haven't seen MJ all night. Not even in the
That's
chat.
right.
She was asking earlier too if we were going live.
Where is she? Where are
It
you?
was her that asked. Oh my God.
Yeah. She's never gonna hear the end of that.
She
Absent
started
from
this
class.
horrible thing.
She'll be here tomorrow or next time.
She better.
Yep.
Now she's in trouble.
We going backstage to let her know, brother.
She talked us into this shit and then went to sleep.
She didn't have to twist her arm too
She's
hard, did she?
snoring like a freaking cow right now, just peacefully dreaming. Streaming shit.
That's right. With that, yeah.
But at least Sweet One was
Magnesium and melatonin and
yeah, she done took a scoop of melatonin and passed out.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all need a
that was
scoop.
the second win. She was like, David, let's go live. And went to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dean was on panel at the beginning.
We'll allow it.
Tombstones came, they hung out for a minute, and then they left.
Yeah.
Streaming
Thanks for coming. Yeah, Dean did the Irish goodbye.
Yeah.
He did.
But he's
Yeah,
dead.
Irish-
So
That's all right. He can get his ass next time.
yeah.
Leave his
Get
ass
him.
in the green room for about 2 hours.
And he's a good egg. He'll sit there for it.
No, he won't. He won't even stay on the panel for 2 hours. Much less in the back.
Guys should bet on that.
That's the new Dean.
Yeah. All right. Here
travel-
we go with. Oh, sorry. Say it.
No, I said that's the new traveling Dean. That's Dean the jet setter. He doesn't have any kind of time for that shit.
So fancy.
I think he does.
I
but
love
think he
eating
might
bison
be on-
burgers and
I think he may be
root beer floats.
pointing his attention towards something else. But I think he definitely had time for it if he wanted to hang out.
Wow.
So-
Maybe he will next time, Dean.
It's a fucking
If you're listening.
asshole.
If not, we'll
Loser,
talk in the
loser
Discord.
asshole guy.
Fucking Dean. See, I didn't even say it.
Yeah, Sweet Woman just hung out with him. They're like best friends. So I'm tell him we said it. Tell him we said he's
Tell him,
a fucking asshole.
go tell Dean what Danny said on the live on the
Yes.
live stream.
Yes, let's start rumors.
For everyone to hear.
Just start a bunch of rumors.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
All right, Mary B.
Drama.
Sweet Woman,
Right.
Janine,
Brother.
Danny.
Leda
Mary.
Tavis.
Mary B, sweet woman. Love y'all.
Night,
Love
guys.
guys.
Prince Lover, yeah, he's drawing
Prince
penises. Too
Lover,
busy to be.
Lover.
He's
Good
working
boy.
on his penis art.
So gross.
Lynn, our friends.
He's working on his penis art. He fell asleep on the pad when he was drawing the dick, and then it's imprinted on
Oh,
his
I hope
face.
so. That would be great.
And they were like, "Are you coming to sell us hats?" And he's got the dick on his face. It's like, "Yeah, I'm here to sell you some hats."
ChatRats, y'all ready? Light it up. Light it up. It's that time. Let's roll.
Got the crew on the dial and we setting out east. Rat daddy at the wheel on the trail for the beast. Toy got receipts and a pocket full of names, and we busting out truths like we blowing out flames.
Eastbound and down, ChatRats rolling heavy. Truth on our tailgate, justice riding steady. Mic in our hand and the signs all red. Ain't no lies slipping past what the ChatRats said.
Got the playlist, angels taking charge, law leans on the mic and her notes hit hard. Mary B's lifted but she's sharper than attack. Dean's dropping questions while he's rolling in his Cadillac.
Breaker, rap mama here, got eyeballs on that shady scene. Y'all ready? Light it up, rats. 10, 4, 20. Northbound and bold, truth in the backseat. ChatRats got that heat, can't be beat. From the ChatRats lounge to the courthouse gate, we ride for the truth and we show up to see that fate.